What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another Forward Progress live watch along right here on the Forward Progress YouTube channel, presented by FanDuel. We are part of the Hammer Betting Network. And tonight, Sunday Night Football, Lions Vikings. Stakes couldn't be higher. It's for the bye and the number one seed in the NFC. Should be a great game. Loser of that game will end up going to LA, SoFi Stadium, to take on the Rams next week. I see everyone in the chat tonight. Anthony, Free 88, Dictator J, Charles Saul, Joe D, Matt Blackwell, Craig Salverson. Good to see you back here, Craig. Brinks as well. Hope you guys had an enjoyable day. For me, it was a roller coaster of a day. I ended up with a ton of volume in the prop markets, live markets, up and down. All said and done, I basically got a sweat out of the day. Turned into a break even. But we'll talk about that over the course of the entire night. Some things I was tilted by, some things that probably regret, and we're going to look ahead to next week. Playoff games. Clive Bixby is going to join me at Caustic Arrow on Twitter. Posted our season-long results. They were really good on this show. One more week to go here. Well, not one more week. I guess we're doing this every single week, looking ahead to next week's games. But thank you to everyone who tailed this year. Got some good early numbers. It's the reason we do the show. And appreciate if anyone could like the stream down below before we get started, and make sure you smash that subscribe button as well. 57, 39, and 2 with the plays given out on the show, percent ROI. But we're on to tonight. From Pizza Buffet this morning and from Best Bets this week here on Forward Progress, I like the Vikings tonight. Took the Vikings on the money line for the show, purely because at that time, FanDuel was at a 2.5. I have some threes for tonight's game. I'm going to be rooting for Minnesota. You see the skull behind me on the board. It is what it is. If you're a Lions fan, stick around. I might get obnoxious, but I'll try not to overdo it. If you're rooting with me on the Vikings, go Vikings tonight. At this point, going to be a real challenge. Real interesting tonight. Looks like I'm bad internet for a second. Looks like I'm back here. Drop a 1 in the chat if everything is okay on my end, and then I'll get into the rest of the games here. Sorry about that. Just a quick lag. I got a lot of tabs open at once here. Okay, getting into it. Start with props. Thank you very much for everyone in here. Start with props. There's not a ton of props I like in this game. Let me choose my words carefully here. I did not bet the over here in this game, but I do see this being conducive to points. We got a high total, pretty high total for a reason, at 56.5. There's going to be a lot of scoring. These teams can both air it out. They can move down the field. So when we look at these numbers, honestly, it's conducive to some player prop overs. I'm going to start with what might be one of the squarest bets I have made this entire season. In the receptions market, not the receiving yards, but in the receptions market, I'm playing Justin Jefferson over 6.5 at -138. It's a little bit of vig. I get it. There is just a huge stylistic mismatch here. The Lions are really struggling to generate pressure on defense. There's no one in the Lions back end that can cover Jefferson on one-on-one. This is a game, in my opinion, where he gets force-fed. It's really, really challenging to guard him, especially when you don't have the receivers to do so. Justin Jefferson, half unit, over 6.5, -132. One of the real challenges with this tonight, and I'll get to that when we're building this SGP, is that players are priced so highly because of the total that a lot of these alts, I don't want to say that they're not achievable, but you're getting real, I don't want to say real bad prices, but you're going to have to hit like some huge numbers in this game tonight to hit some alts. We'll get to that shortly. In the same vein, I am targeting Sam Darnold over completions for tonight's game as well. So we're going to the passing yards market. Sam Darnold over completions. We're playing these separately, one from another. Over 23.5, -128 is the price at FanDuel. Just looking across the market right now, That's a really good price. I mean, minus 125 is the best you're going to get. That's only available at a book that's probably not going to take any of your action relative to FanDuel. So Sam Darnold over 23.5 completions. I do think that they're going to be able to move the ball pretty successfully on this Lions defense. That goes with the entire handicap of the game. Jason says, thoughts on Darnold over 14.5 rush yards for tonight? I do like to play quarterbacks over in high leverage games. I just prefer to play alts typically when I am playing the quarterbacks over in these high leverage games, because if you look at the distributions in these types of games, especially prime time, you will see that it's not the same distribution as regular Sunday games. For example, when a quarterback exceeds the numbers, tends to exceed it by a lot. So I don't love the idea of just playing over 14.5. I hope you don't lose getting greedy on a 25 plus, but that's the way that I would play it. Lots of talk about Tim Patrick receptions. The issue, and I was very interested in Tim Patrick receptions. Just want to double check, but I'm almost certain Khalif Raymond ends up being active tonight for this game. And I don't know how that's going to affect the snap counts for Tim Patrick. It did look like a low number to me at 1.5, but with Khalif Raymond back in the mix now, I don't like it anymore. I certainly would still lean that way, but I don't like it anymore. On the Lions side of things, the closest I came to playing anything was Jahmyr Gibbs under receiving yards. I know someone posted an alt over here. I'm not saying it can't happen. I thought it was priced a little bit too high for how well the Vikings do in terms of tackling running backs out of the backfield. But at this point, I mean, this could easily turn into a shootout. And quite frankly, I'm scared of that altogether. Both QBs 350 plus over is priced at 29 to 1. Certainly, if it gets into a shootout, you could get into that type of situation. Let me build out an SGP here for tonight. This is not going to be a super long shot, high paying one. After this, I'll give it a touchdown prop as well. But going to go ahead and start it with the Vikings money line. It is my rooting interest in the game. I do think that at this point, the market is the market. It is what it is. So they say. My numbers like Vikings plus 136. I don't want to sell points and go to Vikings minus 2.5, anything like that, like I typically do, because the Lions are so aggressive offensively. They will take shots with 2-point conversions, things of that nature. Their distribution, in my opinion, is more likely to land on a 1 or 2. So I'm just going Vikings on the money line. The player I like most on the Vikings offense in terms of ability to exceed expectations by a lot is my guy in what some might dub a revenge game, TJ Hawkinson. 6+ receptions is where I'm going. I think he has a big matchup advantage over the middle of the field. Alex Anzalone is back for the Lions tonight. I mean, Ian Rappaport, this guy just gets a million things wrong a week. He tweeted earlier in the week that Anzalone wasn't going to play. He's playing tonight, but he's going to be on a snap count. And in addition to that, I read a lot about Anzalone this week. Looks like he's nowhere near 100% at this point. So TJ Hawkinson, 6+. And then we're going to end this off with something I don't want to root for, but I do think is tied to Minnesota winning this game on the money line, which is Jared Goff, 325+ passing yards. It pains me, but Flores is very boomer bust. We saw this in the first matchup between these teams this year. I don't think the Lions offense is going to get shut down. And I do think the Vikings are going to move the ball easily in this game. That's going to force Goff to have to throw. One thing about the Lions, they don't go down easily. Look at the game against the Bills where they lost 48-42 at home. Buffalo basically scored on every drive. The Lions will push the ball when they are trailing or they are in that type of game. So I'm playing this at 13.5 to 1 plus 1350. Can use a parlay boost on it as well. Jack it up to the 20 to 1 range. And that's where we're going to go for the SGP tonight. I see you guys are lumping in on it right now. Price shouldn't move all that much at this point. Jack says Hawkinson 2+ TDs. Got a feeling in my nuts that it's going to happen. in my plums, is what we're supposed to say. Feel it in my plums. Damani said Goff passing yards under. I would be more inclined to like that if I liked the Lions in the game. All right. Touchdown prop that I do like. This won't come as a surprise to anyone. It's just that I'm not going to take him the last touchdown this time. I'm going to take him anytime where I think FanDuel has a great price on him. I'm taking Cam Akers at 5-1. Anytime touchdown. Aaron Jones a little bit banged up here at the end of the year. Cam Akers is getting some red zone carries over the past month or so right now. I think 5-1 is a good price on Akers anytime touchdown. I'm looking across the board now to see if I could find anything better, and I think FanDuel does have the best price. So make sure you play it there at 5-1. Other things that I considered, but I didn't end up going with, if you're just, I don't want to call you an action junkie or anything like that, but Brock Wright at 15-1 is a very good price on Detroit. They tend to do a lot of tricky stuff in big games like this. I did not bet it. I'm just informing you of what I was closest on. And I also don't mind Tim either in the plus 470 range. It is a good price. I'm not sure how things are going to play out with the Lions receiving corps with Khalif Raymond back. But with that said, I would rather take a longer shot on Tim Patrick rather than just play his regular standard receptions. I see some jokes in here about Tunes. I've known Tunes for a long time. I do know he wins. It's just maybe not a good season for the public picks from Tunes. It is what it is. Kurtar says he bet Akers first TD. Let me take a look at that really quickly because now I'm going to have some FOMO. First TD. Wow, FanDuel 45-1. Like this is when I talk about our show sponsor and betting at FanDuel, especially for the touchdown markets, I cannot recommend it enough. FanDuel.com/forward-progress. If you're betting on another site, that's fine. But if you're going to bet this market, Caesars is 8-1. Akers first touchdown. MGM's 9-1. 365 is 8-1. Even Fanatics and DK are in the 20-1 range. 45-1 is like you're not finding that anywhere. So go for it. 0.2 units on Akers. 0.2 to win 1 unit on Akers. Chris, they'll probably be out there at some point when there's regulated gaming in British Columbia as well. So that's going to be it for the props. Obviously going to monitor live here. We'll talk as well about the openers for next week as those continue to come out. But it's an interesting game, and hopefully as Minnesota's catching some money here at post, moving off of 3 to 2.5 in some spots, pretty heavily juiced 3. Total stayed up there at 56.5. But hopefully we end up getting a good game. For the first half tonight, I'm joined as usual by a person who's contributed more this year to putting together a winning record on these openers, Clive Bixby. Clive, how are things?
What's going on? I'm back home and I'm happy about it.
I don't blame you. It's getting on the road is nice every now and then, but then you get home and you're like,
there's such comfort. It's just so much nicer. How's the new place?
Good. I'm enjoying it. Watched a lot of football today, per usual. Was sweating. I'm really tired right now. I don't typically spend all day at the computer, but
a lot of live game stuff for you today.
Yes. Just talking to Hitman a little bit while games were going on, kind of attacking the board on some stuff. The Jonnu Smith TD, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't need that, at least to salvage the day, because I got cooked on some live stuff that I don't even regret. I added the Raiders when I saw that Rashawn Slater, left tackle for the Chargers, was out. It looked like it mattered early on, and then as the game went on, Herbert just really cooked that defense. So few regretful plays today, but what are you going to do? Such is life, and can't complain about this regular season, which is nice.
Yeah, it's been a good year overall, and I saw what Caustic posted on Twitter, so that looked pretty good since he's been tracking.
Yeah, Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on things here as they open up. Minnesota, Detroit. Anything for you on this particular game tonight?
Just a couple of early first quarter props. Nothing else. My day's pretty much done.
All right. First quarter props.
Yeah, a couple first drive result stuff.
Do you care to share, or do we want to just
Oh yeah,
react
no,
in real time?
they're just not. They're not best priced at FanDuel.
Yeah, no problem.
There are the turnover market I liked actually for this week for a couple games. This was one of them. So 6.5 to 1 on a turnover for either of these teams first down. That does include misses on fourth down.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well,
nothing big. It's just small stuff. Stuff to keep it interesting.
I had some Joe Burrow no interception last night. I don't typically bet turnover market. He did throw the pick that got, scooped up right off the ground. Really good interception in that game. I got to say, it's got to be one of the worst sweats around. No pick is one of the worst sweats going.
Yeah. I would have had a better day today if the first drive for Trey Lance that he threw the little deflection and then right in the Commies defender's hands dropped, that would have turned the day a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah. That game, I got hooked on my largest position on that game, which was unfortunate. Took some, had some 4, but had the majority 4.5 in that game. That sucked. Seattle, my God, what a sweat that Seattle game was.
Yeah, it was. I did not know where that game was going to really end up.
Yeah, that one was nuts. Just trying to look through the board today. Had a lot of action. Houston first half turned out good. That was one I think we got from the pizza buffet. Getting good price on Jacksonville actually mattered, which was nice as well. God, late ads. I got to stop doing the game day ads, man. Giants and Raiders today. Tough one. But all right, let's get into looking ahead to next week in the early going here. We don't have line posted, obviously, yet for hypotheticals. So Rams, Vikings, Rams, Lions. We do have the rest of the games posted. I'm going to go in the order that I think the games are going to be played in, as Clive's going to rejoin us here in 1 second. But my guess is that I feel very strongly that the Houston Chargers game is going to be our opening game on Saturday. I feel very strongly Monday Night Football is going to be the loser of this game against the Rams. I feel very good about Buffalo and Denver being the first game on Sunday. So we'll try to work through them as best as we can. We'll get Clive back in here. But let's go Houston up first for next week. Houston Texans hosting the LA Chargers. Early market for the game at FanDuel is Chargers -3, -104. So we got a 3 that is juiced slightly towards Houston. We got the total in the game at 44.5. For the Chargers, Josh Palmer was inactive at receiver today, and Quentin Johnston had a huge game. Rashawn Slater, their left tackle, as I mentioned earlier, did not play today. I think that was just rest for Rashawn Slater. He did not have an injury designation this week. I would imagine he's back next week. Christian Fulton left the game at corner, but that was just an illness. So I think he'll be playing next week. And Denzel Perriman has been dealing with a groin injury. He didn't play today. He'll have a chance to play next week as well. So that's the Chargers side of things. Houston, several injuries. They rested a lot of players today, though, as well. So it remains to be seen who will be active next week. I'd like to pay attention to Shaq Mason, the right guard on the offensive line. And Jeff Okudah was inactive today as well at corner. Kind of matters for them. He's taken an increased role altogether. Start with you here, Clive. 344.5. Any thoughts at this number?
Not on the side. The total feels about right too. I am liking a look maybe on the over, but I kind of have to see how the injury reports come out. But this feels kind of right on both the side and the total. I don't get any initial touchy feels like I want to go out and bet.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm actually in the same boat as you. I don't see there. I do think that because it opened 44.5, there might be some early under money here towards 44, which is a key number. But I don't feel like this is significantly off by any stretch of the imagination. I have more I have more appeal towards betting Houston at this price than I do the Chargers. Let me put it that way. But I am probably lower than market a bit on the Chargers. I also don't know what to make of Houston. Stroud played well today in very, very limited action, and they were trying to get his confidence back. Him and Nico Collins were they were in tune early on in that game. And I do like the Texans defense as well. This to me, though, seems like a pretty decent price where I don't think I'm firing early on this game.
No, nothing's jumping. See what the injury reports kind of turn out. Probably the game that I'm least excited about next week, if I'm being honest, too.
Yeah, which is why it'll be in our first time slot on Saturday. Play clock really quickly for me is 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Brian Flores' graphic up on screen. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and we'll see this.
What do we got here?
35. Wow. Great play by Gibbs. Great play there. He was dead to rights.
Yeah, you're ahead of me now. Ever since I changed cable, now you're like, or it's your move. I can't tell.
Yeah, I've also gone back to old satellite dish as well, which has put me like really, really fast.
Yeah, that was great play.
Who was out there in the open field there? Cashman? Oh man, that guy probably makes that tackle.
Yeah, he
at
got
least 9 out of 10. At least 9 out of 10.
And he got a hand right to the helmet.
Yeah, that's tough. Bots in full effect tonight. What are you gonna do? We'll nuke him as we see him. It. Pretty tough in the early going here. Tough sledding for the Lions. We'll watch one drive here and we'll go game by game over the course of the first half here. Yeah, I thought about Houston Chargers today. I'll share my true thoughts on this game. I thought the Chargers were going to open higher. Not that I would have made them. I thought they were going to open higher and that I would have a real tough decision on whether or not I'm going to have to bet the Texans this next week. And when I say have to bet, we don't have to bet anything, obviously. But I was really feeling that was going to be the case. So seeing a 3,
I was actually surprised. I thought, I mean, not that this is much different. 3 minus 104. I thought it would be minus 2.5 heavily juiced. I mean, it's in range. It's not anything majorly different. What happened that play?
Just a run up the middle for a few yards. Gibbs up the middle for 4 or 5. So 3rd and 8. They forced 3rd down consecutive series here.
So maybe a 6-yard play here, and then it gets to 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
First of all, we've seen this happen. We've seen the Lions do this many times. The Vikings were very much ready for it this time. That's
that play had no chance.
A little bit questionable there. All right, before we get into other games, and as we see this punt here, we are in the final week of the NFL season. A reminder, make sure you're betting the NFL season on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. We've leveraged FanDuel throughout the entire season. They give us great odds on what we want to bet. They give us a great product that has uptime all the time when we're doing these streams. You can't really ask for much more from a sportsbook. And right now, all customers get profit boosts during week 18. We have a live one tonight. That means you can pump up your gridiron winnings multiple times a week. FanDuel has tons of ways you can get in on the NFL action. You can bet money lines, spreads, player props, and more. Plus, with super simple live betting, lightning fast bet settlement, and instant withdrawals, FanDuel makes betting on the NFL easier than ever before. Just visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to download FanDuel today. Must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in DC. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Connor says Houston plus 3.5 is an auto bet. +3 is maybe I'll bet if I want action. That's kind of how I feel about that right now.
That's reasonable.
But you know what? It's also kind of a cop-out because I think no matter what, if the game comes off of 3, there's going to be an appetite one way or another to capture the 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
100%.
So we're there. All right, let's get to a second game. I think Saturday night is going to be Pittsburgh, Baltimore. These teams have been playing. They played Saturday this week. They played earlier the week prior. My only hesitation is that Zay Flowers is hurt, and I wonder if the league potentially wants to give another day for him to recover. But I do think that this game is going to either be that game or the Packers and Eagles. Let's just go with Steelers and Ravens for this one. Total in the game, the opener here at FanDuel is 8.5. The number in the game is 8.5. The total is 46.5. I did mention Zay Flowers. I think he's at serious risk of missing this game with the knee injury. Nelson Aguilar has been inactive the past 3 weeks with a concussion. So that potentially could be not a great receiving core tomorrow. Rashad Bateman got winded in game. He ended up being fine. But Rashad Bateman, Tylan Wallace, Devontae Walker, Steven Sims, you'll probably see a lot of 2 tight end looks with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely and a lot of running the ball for Baltimore if Zay Flowers can't play. On the Pittsburgh side, Mason McCormick, the right guard, left against Cincinnati very late in the game with a hand injury. Dante Jackson, one of their starting corners, was inactive, and their secondary was a mess early on in that game. So those are the guys to watch out for in this particular game. 8.5, 46.5. Clive, what are your early thoughts here?
Total feels a touch high, especially with the potential with injuries that are out there and the way that I think the game would play out with, like you mentioned, a little bit more running the football than throwing and explosive plays. Total just feels a touch high. Don't really think much about the 8.5. I think I'd have more interest in Baltimore at 8.5 though than the Steelers, but that's kind of where I would have expected 8 to 8.5.
Yeah, these teams played in Week 16. Baltimore won 34-17 in that game. There was a big turning point in that particular game on the third Steelers drive where Russell Wilson fumbled inside the 5-yard line on a big run. Darius Washington hit him, kind of changed the game. But Baltimore's offense, 6.7 yards per play in that game, 5.3 for Pittsburgh. A lot of that damage was done in garbage time as well, which, I mean, I'm just really kind of upset that Zay Flowers got hurt in that game because I do see this as a game where Baltimore could win by margin. Now, you're going to have a lot of playoff Lamar stuff that is talked about this week, and that might be a thing. I mean, who am I to say it's not? I do believe that certain players elevate their game in the playoffs and certain players crumble under pressure. But no Pickens in that game is a great point by Dominic as well. I don't know. I'm stuck kind of here at this point as well. I almost think Pittsburgh might draw some money at 8.5 with the potential of Flowers being out.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, where do you think the worst that this number gets? 7.5?
Yeah. It may, honestly, just sorry, I was watching that third down, and I'm going to say we got it tonight because I'm a member of the Vikings organization tonight.
Skull.
Yeah, like we're in teaser range right now for the Ravens. I don't, like, just think about it from a pure market perspective, right? I don't know how this game can close double digits, and I don't really know how it can close 7, honestly.
Agree. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So it's in the 7.5 to 9.5 range, but I don't think it gets to 9.5. Not without. No, I don't see it getting that high. I mean, it's possible, but I like the total more than I like the side here.
And you're leaning towards the under.
I am. But again,
all right,
it's early.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I came up with openers before I came to air here. Not what I'm gonna actually have as like my true number, but roughly in the ballpark of where I think that these would be, and I'm kind of right on here. So another one, no early action for me. 9.5 plus 100 is out there for Steelers. Some people saying 9.5. The minute I call 9 a dead number, this game will land exactly 9. And obviously, you want to do what you can to get the best number, but 9 is relatively meaningless. I wouldn't be surprised if you do see a move straight through to 10 at some point and get some teaser protection or down to 7. I think there might be like a harsh move quickly, potentially in this game, and then buy back towards the other side. I don't honestly know. Look ahead total was 47.5, so it did move down. Yeah, it's gonna move down on the Zay Flowers news, and also one more week of the Steelers' offense being a complete abomination, which matters.
Yeah, and weather's getting a little shitty out here in the Northeast Atlantic area, so that's some upside as well. Yeah, not a good throw. Not that I think he had anywhere to really go there.
No. Going to have a 3rd and 9 here. This game started much slower than I thought. We did get a Hawkinson and Jefferson reception, though, so far on the first drive, which is nice. Watch this big 3rd down here.
Maybe we should have did a punt SGP.
Honestly, where were you before the game, Clive?
I know.
Where were
pass posting. Mm-hmm. All right, big 3rd down here. Empty set.
Oh, man. That was not a good throw to Hawk there, unfortunately. I'll like to see the replay, but I think Darnold just missed that throw.
It looked like he had him.
I
need a replay. They're not giving us a replay.
The last 3 drives that I've seen the Lions get off the field have all been a wide open receiver where the QB has just missed the throw. I guess the key is don't go to 3rd and 9.
What's the live total at just losing a half of the first quarter?
That's a really good question. We lost half the first quarter. It closed 56.5, probably 48 is my guess.
Yeah. Heavily juiced over 47.5.
47.5 juiced over.
Yeah. Might as well be 48.
Yeah. Might as well be. Lord McD says Darnold not great throwing along the sidelines. It is true. Over the middle of the field, he's been much better this year. All right. Sunday early, 1 p.m. Eastern time, feels like almost a lock for Broncos and Bills, in my opinion. So that's what we're going to hit up next. First 3 games would be AFC if it goes down this way, which I can entirely see happening as well. So Broncos Bills, early market here up on screen at FanDuel. Buffalo -8.5, -104. Total 47.5, juiced under. Mini buy for Josh Allen this week. Took his 1 snap, got off the field. Amari Cooper didn't play for personal reasons. I assume back next week. Really, honestly, these teams are pretty healthy going into next week. Just Terrell Bernard, middle linebacker for Buffalo, that was out today with a real injury, with a quad injury. But Denver's been healthy. Buffalo's been healthy. What do you make of this one, Clive? Early number here.
So I think I'm a little lower than the market on Denver. The total feels okay. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills still take a little money at 8.5 and get closer to 10.
Yeah. Wow, we're not I don't want to say we're not eye to eye because we haven't had a lot of conviction here so far
No.
today. But I don't know. My early thought was around 8 for this number here. And I'm not sure if I am high on Denver, low on Buffalo, maybe not. What do we have as the total here as well?
47.5 minus 105.
It's going to be a Buffalo home game, January. It is cold. It is going to be cold in the Northeast this week for the majority, so that we could see some inclement weather. If we didn't, I would be inclined to like the over here, personally.
Where are you on Denver's defense?
Good, but overrated.
So I think that's where I'm at, and I do think I am slightly down on them from a defensive perspective and slightly down on them from an offensive perspective. It's both sides of the ball. Buffalo, I think, is just probably where they should be. I mean, listen, I'm not rushing to go bet minus 8.5 at this number, but if you're forcing me to pick a side, I do think that I'd rather have Buffalo here than Denver.
All right, looks like I nailed the schedule. Schedule's been released right now, so 6 for 6. I guess I'm really nothing to pat myself on the back for. I've just really been watching football for a long time. I have a general idea what we're going to get. So Lions got the ball here. Yeah, Buffalo, Denver. It's tough because lasting memory in my mind is Denver today, which was just destroying a bunch of KC backups. And this is going to be a much bigger step up in class for Denver. They have had road games this year where they have went out on the road and they have played well. They almost beat Kansas City at Arrowhead. Like, this is going to be a pretty rocking environment, I would say. And it is Bo Nix's first career playoff start, which generally quarterbacks have struggled in recent years.
That's part of where my head's at too. It looks like FanDuel's already got team totals out too. So Buffalo 27.5. Okay.
There is a nice early market right now, like across the board for relative to any other week where we've been doing look aheads. You can get some decent money down in the early going here.
Yeah. I do have, maybe I have a little bit more interest in the Bills team total than anything, if I'm being honest, as I think through this. I have concerns about Nix in his first playoff game. Although he looked good today, I don't know. I'm not sold on him at all in his development.
We have a difference of opinion there, but man, I really want to have some stuff in the early going here. I can't say that I do so far. I feel like all 3 games opened in a range where I thought that they would open. And the real challenge for me at this point as well is that we don't have any significant injuries to parse through from this week that I think could really affect the handicap strongly one way or the other. Buffalo, Baltimore teased does seem appealing to me right now at current market numbers. I know typically you want to wait until the market has matured a little bit more, especially for the Wong teasers, but that doesn't seem like a bad look in the early going here.
On St. Brown was wide open.
Yeah.
Geoff is having all sorts of time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, none of these games so far are like anything that I have any significant conviction in. It's playoff football too. I mean, I'm not to use like some stupid platitude, but styles make fights.
Yep.
I feel like, just kind of looking off of old market ratings and things like that, it's very difficult to price these things postseason in real time, especially when you have games like, Pittsburgh, Baltimore is the third time that they're playing.
Yeah.
There's just a lot to it.
Well, I think Buffalo, Denver is kind of easy to price, honestly, on the side at the very least. If you just look at like power rankings or market power ratings by week, and just go every week over the course of the season, where after we knew what Denver was, let me just say it that way, because if you use early on in the year, you're going to get some stuff that thought Denver was going to be a terrible team with where they were
Sure.
priced in market, right? And you kind of average those out, and you're pretty consistently going to get like a Buffalo -8 with a standard home field advantage. Playoffs, you could definitely argue a little bit more, but it's another one of those games that kind of just has to be in the range that it's in right now. I don't, I could, if we got to a key number one way or the other, whether that's a 7 or a 10, I would have interest in whichever side we get to at that point. So, and that kind of goes for the Ravens game as well. So
yeah, I was just going to ask, which one do you think has more room to move, so to speak, or would be a little bit more volatile? Like for me, Pittsburgh, Baltimore seems like, because of the injuries, that could go a little bit more heavy in one direction.
I agree with you. I agree. Of all those teams, I think Pittsburgh is the most likely to take money purely if like Zay Flowers isn't at practice on Wednesday. They're going to get bet, I would guess.
Yeah.
At that point. Big 3rd and 2 coming up here, although this is probably 2 down territory for the Lions regardless. They should know that, and the Vikings should know that as well.
So Scott's asking if we believe in Whale Capper's rookie QB first playoff start fade. I mean, I think there's a little something to that, but I'd like to look into, that kind of data a little bit more before I,
yeah,
would make a blanket statement.
Well, there's a few things. I looked into this a lot last year, and it has been the case for a while now. Detroit took a holding penalty, like the one thing you don't want to do. I looked into this last year, and yes, rookie quarterbacks tend to have a very bad ATS record in the first playoff start. It's also small sample, and when you start bucketing the quarterbacks into buckets of like, okay, this guy ended up being elite or good, the record isn't all that bad. So it's mostly coming from guys who made the playoffs and were bad quarterbacks. I don't know where Bo Nix fits into that. I think I've come around on him relative to relative to where I was at the beginning of the year. But also, I don't like looking at, I got that today as well, Clive, which was, I've been talking about incentives over the course of the week, right? And I tweeted the thing about Mike Evans today, which,
yeah,
I mean, for those who didn't bet the Mike Evans under hundreds or whatever that were out there, whatever, what are you going to do? The game's over now at this point. But lots of people are coming back and being like, well, now the pendulum has shifted the other way. You no longer bet the overs on the incentive guys. You just blindly bet all the unders. And I actually don't agree with that either. Yeah, I think you just got to take each one individually. And it's the same for these playoff games with a rookie starter. I think you just handicap the game as is. And for this one, it's tough. I mean, Buffalo's a juggernaut. They can blow out any team at home. There's certainly a range where they blow them out. 4th down, the Lions they can't be stopped. I don't know what the Lions are on 4th down this year, but they go for so many and they convert it so often.
Yeah, they do. I'll be interested in how Nix does. I think he's probably the rookie that I feel not as the most overrated. That's not the right word. Because I think you can make the case Jaden Daniels is a little bit overrated and like he's kind of peaked and flattened out, or at least semi-plateaued. And Nix feels like he's still on an upward trend. There's just something that's not sitting well with me with Nix, and it's hard for me to kind of put into words. I don't know if it's the schedule that he's played. It just doesn't feel like he's that strong of a quarterback that I want to trust.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I think about what kind of offense I would want to go out on the road and beat the Bills, and that would be I think your best case scenario is a team that could really pound the rock, like consistently shove it down. We've seen time and time again that Buffalo's defense can be, when I say soft, I mean like mostly against the run, right? And they invite it a lot of times as well. They rush for a lot of times in the passing game. They drop a lot of guys into coverage. They don't blitz a lot. And I think there's a decent chance that they'll be able to shut down the Denver passing game. It's in the run game where I get a little bit more concerned about Buffalo having one of those games where they can get run on. Now, they've been better in run defense this year relative to years past, but that's the type of offense I would be looking for on the road, going to try to win a playoff game in Buffalo. And I'm not convinced necessarily the Broncos can do that, which is why I think the Bills are a valuable teaser piece in this particular game. But
what James just said in chat is what I think about is when Nix isn't going to be able to extend drives with his legs because people are game planning for it, which I could see the Bills doing in this scenario. I think he becomes a little bit more vulnerable in terms of his efficiency.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's get into our NFC games here. So the midday window Sunday is the Packers and the Eagles. Definitely a game that I'm looking forward to watching. Although the Packers struggled with Jordan Love today. He left the game with what was called an elbow injury. Looked like he hit his funny bone. I think he's going to be fine for next week, but it's something worth monitoring anyways. Early number here, Eagles -3.5, -115. Total in the game is 46.5. Also of note today, Christian Watson hurt again. Looked serious. He got carted off. They were already missing Romeo Doubs, who was just sick today and couldn't play. Those are significant injuries. They put Jair Alexander on IR this week, which is a big blow to their quarterback group. Evan Williams, safety, was inactive again this week. His backup, Zane Anderson, was inactive with a concussion. The Eagles pretty much got a bye when you consider the amount of players that were able to rest today. Dallas Goedert came back off of IR. They're going to pretty much be at full health with the exception of Brandon Graham, who's on IR. And maybe Nakobe Dean, who can't play with his abdomen injury. 3.5, 46.5. What are the thoughts here?
Potentially Green Bay Packers team total under. That's my first instinct when I see this along with the spread. I've been down on the Packers pretty much all year, and I think I've said this a lot on the show. Like I'm just not sure that I see them the way that the market sees them. The last 2 weeks, maybe they came back to earth. If you want to count this week, I don't. But I think if I had interest in a side here, it would probably be Philly. But I think this number is right. Like a little bit not heavily juiced, a little bit slightly juiced on the 3.5, I think is exactly where I'd probably put this number.
If you gave me this number prior to this week, I would have taken Green Bay. Now I'm probably not. In addition,
Watson, Love, iffy.
I think you at least got to wait it out at this point if you're going to bet the Packers, right? Like, I think Love is going to play. He seemed fine. It looked like he was able to come back into the game if they needed him late.
Yeah, he was thrown on the sideline like after Willis had a little bit of a hand thing.
But Darnold, man, you got to throw the ball, dude. You got to throw the ball.
Did he get face mask there or no?
I don't know that he did. I didn't see him do that, but this is my main issue with Darnold. This is on me. Was that like a 15-yard loss in the early going there?
Yeah, he does this where he just doesn't find the right spot to let go of the ball and pressures himself into a sack. He grazed his face mask.
Yeah. I don't.
His fingers got in there a little, but
yeah. I don't honestly know what to do with this game. I I don't want to manufacture plays just for the sake of saying that, we have something here, but I think 3.5 is fine. I think it's fine. I'm not impressed with the Packers, honestly, but I do like their coaching staff a lot. I like LaFleur. I like the idea of betting that team getting points. The Eagles are definitely better than them. They were able to rest players. That's worth something, in my opinion. They're going to come in at full health. And it's not quite as drastic as like KC Miami last year, where one team was really beat up and one team was healthy. But it does kind of give me those vibes in a way, where quarterback injury to the throwing arm, receivers not looking great. Oh, come on, Darnold, man. Make that throw. Ah.
Oh!
That's two to Hawk that he's missed.
You have to make that throw. Jeez. That's rough.
Oh, man. Tough.
This is where I worry about Darnold in a big spot. Like, once you get to the postseason, is this the guy that's going to show up? Like, is he going to get a little bit jittery and revert back to some poor habits?
I think Hawkinson mistimed his jump there a little bit. Just watching that back,
he looked early.
It looked like
a little early.
He jumped a little bit early there. Either way, there's just nobody near him there. Like, no one near him at that point. Tough one.
What I worry about with the Packers too in that game is no Watson. I don't know where they're going to get the explosives from, if anything. And I don't know if that kind of compresses what they're working with in terms of what the field's going to look like from a defensive game plan on the Eagles side. More to come, I guess, but this is the first initial look that I think I've liked a lot is Green Bay team total under.
Okay. Green Bay team total under for Clive.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Right now it's 20.5 minus 104 on FanDuel.
Yep. Okay. Well, at least we got an early look.
Yeah.
Got one. Yeah, that's not the standard Buffalo-Baltimore teaser.
Right.
Final game that we can talk about right now, me and you. We can maybe do a little bit of hypothetical guesswork here. But this is going to be Sunday Night Football. It is the Commanders at the Bucs. I'm interested in this one, depending on what we got for early number in this game. Washington was a mess today, so to speak. Tampa -3, -104, total 50.5. I'm not going to lie to you, Clive. Seeing this number, I'm a little bit upset because I wanted to bet Tampa south of 3 in this game.
I thought you were going to say you wanted the total to open a little bit lower because that's kind of where I'm at.
I think the total, I think 50.5 is a little too high, honestly. I know people don't. I do think it's a little high, yeah, slightly.
Do you think it's because of a Commanders weakened offense, or because that's the only part of the equation that I see that I can go maybe potentially on an underside here would be Washington team total under, but I kind of think Tampa could cook offensively.
So I agree in that sense. Okay, first and foremost, Jaden Daniels left the game today, which was kind of weird because it was, again, they were playing for playoff positioning and he got replaced by Mariota. And Dan Quinn said after the game that it was quote unquote leg soreness that he left the game with, which I would be a little bit concerned about with my starting quarterback. Their center, Tyler Biadasz, has been dealing with an ankle injury. He was out today. That is a big blow because Tampa Bay has a monstrous nose tackle in Vita Vea. Marshawn Lattimore, who they acquired at the deadline, has not been playing with a hamstring injury. I don't think he's going to be back next week. If he is, there's a pretty high risk of re-aggravation. I do think Antoine Winfield will be back for the Bucs. He's missed 4 weeks with a knee injury. That was kind of the timeline for him. They're having major issues in the secondary right now. Jordan Whitehead's on IR. Mike Edwards left the game today with an unknown injury. Jamel Dean didn't play with, he's been listed on the injury report with knees, Knees.
Plural.
Both knees are a real problem. There is some 2.5 minus 120 out there right now. I honestly would play that. I think that there is a lot of upside with Tampa Bay for next week. And worst case scenario, I think this number should, personally, I think this number should be 3 worst case scenario.
Like a full 3, you mean?
Yeah.
That's where I kind of see it. I'm getting down on Washington. I do think Tampa's defense is terrible, but I don't think this is the game where I'd worry about Tampa not being able to win a shootout. What did I miss?
Van Ginkel absolutely wrecked Jahmyr Gibbs. Also, really unfortunate that Gibbs caught that for Detroit. I don't know how he held on to that. I don't like rushing 3, but they got home with 3. So, I'm just going to take that back right now.
And there you go.
Jonathan Greenard. I think he's one of the most underrated players around. I hate the idea of rushing 3 right there, what they got there. Bucks alts, if Daniels isn't 100%. I don't hate the idea of Bucks alts. I've gone on a roller coaster with Washington this year. They were very good to me for a long time. And then I hit the point mid-season where I'm like, I got to kind of pump the brakes here. I feel they're very weak relative to what they were at earlier in the year. The offense was humming. They don't have the defense right now, in my opinion. Trey Lance sucks, and he was moving the ball today. I mean, he missed a wide open touchdown that I literally laughed out loud at how bad the throw was. Couldn't remember who the receiver was. I think it was Tolbert. I don't mind an early look here on Tampa, but I definitely would rather that 2.5 minus 120. Although I could run the pricing on that quickly. It's probably the same thing. It just naturally feels like I would rather take that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're looking at 1 or 2 cents either way. Nothing major. Shit. I mean, I'm just going to be interested to see how the game plays out. I feel like Tampa actually left points on the board again today. And Baker Mayfield looked good, not great, until, he had to.
I honestly thought he didn't look good at all early in the game. And then second half, they really picked it up. I got to just ask you, the Mike Evans play where they forced him the ball at the end of the game to get him 1,000. What did you think of that?
Do I think that it makes the record a little fugazi, or like
that's kind of where I was going with it, right?
I do. Yes, I do. And I'm like, so you take that factor into it too. And you're comparing him to Jerry Rice. When we talked about Saquon Barkley, not we, just in general, it was talked about him versus Dickerson, 16 game versus 17 game.
Yeah.
This is a 17 game season now for him where, he's getting 1,000 yards and you're comparing him to Jerry Rice. Like who cares? I laughed when I saw the tweet. I forget who posted it. I give him credit, but like New Orleans just sell out on Mike Evans that play. Leave the rest of the field open. Don't even give a shit, and don't let him catch the ball. I would have loved that.
Yeah. Lyman says, "What about Allen's Iron Man streak?" I agree. It feels the same way for me. It does. And he's telling the reporter, like the commentators are like, Allen has been talking about how important this record is to him. It's like, well, if it was that important, he would play the game. Like it's kind of ridiculous at this point, really. It's like Cal Ripken's not starting games and then asking to be pulled after the first batter of the game to keep the streak alive. It's dumb in my opinion.
Yeah, it feels forced. It's certainly not organic in any way, shape, or form, and it feels inauthentic. So those kind of things, they bug me. I think talk about integrity. Like
Saints should have put every corner on Evans and leave everyone else uncovered. Act like a division.
There you go.
I agree.
Yeah,
I get it. It was cool to see the Bucks celebrate that so hard. Like you could tell how meaningful it was to everyone on that team. I just wish Mike Evans would have hit that at some other point in the game where it didn't feel so forced. Yeah, manufactured. I'm always going to think about that as any time that what, by the way, record. Like,
yeah, I was going to say, I also don't care about that record.
It's like a milestone, I guess. But whenever it comes up, I'm going to think about that every single time. It's, yeah. Mike Durso, I don't know if people know about the conspiracy theory of Cal Ripken Jr. and Kevin Costner banging his wife.
Yeah. And there was a little fist fight that ensued.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Fun fact, I was at the game that Cal Ripken did not start. So when he broke his streak, so the first game he didn't start, I was at that game.
Wow. What a loser you are, man.
I know. How unlucky was
that?
Like
see a streak.
I
they couldn't have forced it. They couldn't have forced it. They couldn't have put him out on the field to field one ground ball and then took him out of there.
No, they didn't do that back then. I think Ryan Miner played in his place. I went to school in Baltimore. That's the only reason I was down there. And they played the Yankees, if I'm remembering correctly.
What do you think the Minnesota Rams or Detroit Rams openers look like? Because we have a general idea of how these teams are priced in market. Detroit is considered slightly better on a neutral than Minnesota, which is kind of where I disagree. I think I have them rated close to equals with the state of the current Detroit defense.
Yeah, with injuries and stuff. I don't have any data up. I'm guessing 7.5.
At LA, because they're going to be.
Oh, not LA. Sorry, you're right. Then no. I was thinking the other way around. Ooh.
Yeah, that was a big door to throw. Connor says Detroit -4.5, Minnesota -3.5. I think that's too high. I don't want to bet the Rams, but I think I would bet the Rams
at 4.5.
Either of those
or 3.5.
In either of those games. I mean, Minnesota went to the Rams earlier this year. They lost that game on Thursday Night Football. Where did that game close around? A lot's happened since then, don't get me wrong. But the Rams also leveraged a bye for their entire offense this week. Like, they had nobody of value playing.
Sure.
Let's go.
What just happened?
Big time throw.
There we
Justin.
go.
Double J. Used to be Jeff Jarrett.
Jarrett.
Justin Jefferson.
J-E-double-F.
J-E-double-F. Man, the amount of headshots that guy gave with a guitar, that like the fakest, most manufactured guitar possible, just the thing like splintered into a million pieces. Those were the days, man.
Yeah, and I think I forget the old woman that he hit. I think he like waffled like Mae Young or what was the other woman's name? Fabulous Moolah?
Moolah. Yeah. Moolah.
I think he waffled one of them once. Anyway, that was ridiculous. Good throw.
Cam Akers is in the game, my friend. 2-yard carry.
Get in there.
Cam Akers is in the game. Just keep feeding Cam. Kill a Cam is what I'm going to call him.
Yeah, so I think if it was mini, it would probably be like a heavily juiced 3, and then Detroit maybe just a flat 3.5. 3.5, 115, something like that.
I will bet the Rams 3.5 home to Detroit. Okay. If that's the number. I can almost guarantee I will show value on that price. I would be so scared of McVay against Campbell, though. Like, McVay is going to give away a possession in that game with a big time cuck punt. Big time.
Does anybody have the hypotheticals up on that game?
I saw the look aheads. There were some hypotheticals beforehand.
Now that this game's playing, I'm sure
I saw it on that. What's that girl that I see on Twitter a lot that I don't follow? Bookie Queen, Parlay Queen, something like that. Betting Queen, yeah.
Yeah.
She seemed very confused as to how there were lines out for next week's games, even though the playoffs weren't decided yet. And someone had to explain what the hypotheticals were. You would think that the betting queen would know what the hypotheticals were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we doing here?
Revolut, he says, dude, the Rams suck. I mean, it's all relative to price. They bet any team relative to price.
I feel like
they've been offensively challenged for sure with Stafford for a month now. They just gave him a bye week. Come on, Darnold, make a throw, dude. Make a throw.
That did look like his best look there.
They're going to go.
Yeah.
They're going to go.
Did you see the thing about KOC potentially being on the the trade?
Yeah. Jay Glazer.
Huh. What?
I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Imagine thinking this guy is better than the Purdster. Oh, Marcus. Yeah, I mean, agent texts to Scott's point. Like, oh, come on, no.
But what's Jefferson yelling about there? It looks like he's yelling at the ref.
Did he get a hand in the back, or was he being maybe slightly held? Why don't we show the play and not the fans? Here we go.
Didn't see anything there, honestly. Did not see anything there.
No, but I don't. When he was coming from the other part of the field, I don't. Yeah, it sounds like he was being held.
Mm-hmm.
He probably didn't get a clean cut.
I think Detroit LA Rams will have a really high total that I actually might be interested in the under in that game. The Rams are going to run the ball a lot.
Well, they're going to try and keep it out of Detroit's hands. Like, that's going to be what McVay wants to do.
They basically have transformed into a running team and like a dink and dunk. They don't really have anything downfield right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't have any of the numbers in front of me, but outside of throwing in Nakua, there really hasn't been. It doesn't feel like Stafford's had a lot going on this year. Cooper Kupp doesn't seem like he's been particularly effective, or the offense hasn't been effective at getting him the ball, however you want to look at it. I don't know if that's inaccurate. I'd have to look at data. That's just me thinking off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a kick in the nuts, that lack of a drive right there.
Yeah.
All the way downfield.
I mean, that whole NFC West has been relatively bad. It really just feels like the top tier teams are all in the AFC.
Yeah.
And then you just have a lot of have-nots. But you have a lot of, like, the Jets have been really bad. The Patriots have been awful. The Browns have been awful. The middle of the league is just not scary.
Yeah. I did notice what Riku, why the hell didn't Darnold throw it to Addison wide open at the right pylon? Lord McD, Addison was so wide open to Darnold. I honestly noticed that in real time. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why he didn't throw that there, honestly.
No idea.
Comments about when do we hit the over in this game. 43.5 juice towards the over right now. I'm not. I kind of just want to wait this out because of the field position for Detroit right now.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Hey, turn that into something. Yeah, I just don't. Darnold honestly just reminds me a lot of. Sorry, Marcus. Brock Purdy. Like, I don't look at him as a ceiling raiser at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I think Goff is much better than that. He's slightly better. He's in a better overall offense.
Oh,
I just don't have. What do we got? Oh, that's grounding.
Who's he throwing to? He hit an offensive lineman.
Brock Wright was right there.
Was it right that he hit? If it hit an O lineman, it's like ineligible.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he hit him or Darnold reminds me a lot of Darnold. It's fair. Or if the ball got hit.
Number 89 was in the area.
Yeah.
What do you see on your play clock right now? Count it down.
21,
I'm gonna come to you.
19,
All right.
18, 17.
Okay, you can
16.
stop. I'll freeze it at a certain time, and then you just count it down to that time.
Okay.
That way we can all get on the
Yeah.
same page. I mean, that's fucking grounding, dude, man. I mean, he threw it off his offensive lineman's leg there.
Oh, yeah, Gibbs was right there too. He's just short. Oh no, he's not. All right, where do you want to stop?
29.
Okay, 31, 30, 29.
Okay. Should be pretty close right now.
Who did you have as the toughest strengths to schedule this year?
I didn't update using today's games, and I'll only update with
Final weeks.
Yeah, if the game mattered to a team.
Yeah.
And I break it up by offense and defense. So I think Green Bay played a very tough schedule. Very tough. And then I don't know that it was remotely close afterwards, honestly. Las Vegas would have, but that's by virtue of the teams that are in their division.
I feel like the Ravens had a relatively tough schedule. I don't think they had many.
Baltimore played
NFC division.
Good
the
opposing
NFC South
defenses. So Baltimore played some strong defenses, but like an average schedule of opposing offenses.
Does FanDuel still have up futures? Oh yeah, it looks like they do. KC's the overall Super Bowl favorite still. Yeah. Lions just slightly shifted to 360. I still have a Bills ticket.
There you go.
All right, let's see. Come on, Geoff. What are we doing? That was too easy.
I think my TV just reset to being back on live, so I don't know that there's anything that I can do. I'll try not to go nuts here before it happens.
Okay.
I'm really tilted by that play. At worst, he threw it off of his left tackle's leg.
But yeah,
which would be an illegal touching penalty in the end zone, which I'm almost certain results in a safety.
I think you're right.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's go.
There we go.
All right. Ball don't lie, baby.
Ball don't lie.
Don't lie. Whew. God, I love football, man. I am very much interested in taking some vacation. That's the season. I work hard during football season, but God, I love football.
But at the same time, like
it's
I kind of felt the same way today. Like, but in 3 weeks, when it's just down to a couple playoff games and that's it, I'm gonna fucking miss it.
It's true. It is true.
I know I'm gonna miss it.
All right. We got to get in the end zone here. We got to get it into the end zone here.
Detroit's Super Bowl odds just plummeted to 5-1.
Oh.
Vikings went from 10-1 to 7-1. Let's see how Darnold screws this up. You're welcome. Oh, what the fuck?
If you're going to throw that ball one-on-one to Jefferson, throw it high. Get it up in the air. Like, give him an actual jump ball against the...
I mean, it felt like he held that forever. It just felt that way. I don't know if he did. I know the play didn't develop, but...
This is tough. Someone said, can Keenum come in? Oh, man.
I mean, Darnold's tough.
Oh, my God. Make the throw, Darnold. Make a throw. Make a throw, dude. Holy shit, man.
Come on. This is tough.
Oh, my God, man.
Moretto's got to be losing his shit.
Just make an accurate throw. The guy's wide open.
Well, is this quote unquote playoff Darnold?
The two receivers I have overs on tonight are Jefferson and Hawkinson. This guy keeps missing Jefferson and Hawkinson over.
I feel like he's missed 4 or 5 throws.
Oh my God, it's so frustrating.
I don't know. These concepts that they're running seem like they're taking too long to develop too.
All right. I think we're going to end this stream early tonight. I might have an actual stroke watching this guy tonight.
Oh, you're going to have an embolism.
I might actually have a stroke watching this guy tonight.
Oh my goodness. What the fuck? You got the actual route that you wanted. Smoked corner. That is so bad. Daniel Jones, put him in.
I need booze to do this. I need something. I need an edible, some booze. I need many things. Oh my God, that field goal looked like it was not hit properly either.
Oh no. Oh, go in. This is such a fucking mess. Is this spring training? Like, what is this? Like,
I don't know what kind of booze I have in this house.
You need like a good scotch, like an old fashioned, something along those lines.
It's in the guest house right now. All the booze, the boxes of booze are in the guest house.
Oh, that's an L.
Big mistake.
How fast can Uber Eats get you something? They do that in Canada? Can you get alcohol delivered?
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I could just message my wife and say.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I didn't want to come off.
I don't want to be. Well, yeah, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be Harrison Butker,
Yeah. Honey, where's your apron? Honey, I need a drink.
Oh, man.
I wanted one rock, honey. I didn't want, I didn't want crushed.
Vikings 3.2 yards per play, man. What? Like, this is unbelievably bad.
What's Detroit's
how do the Lions do it, though? How do the Lions do it, man? How do these quarterbacks play the Lions and they just miss wide open throw after wide open throw? Like, I know what my eyes are watching. I know what I'm seeing on a weekly basis. It's guys who are open, but the quarterback can't make the throw.
And it's not like Aaron Glenn has done some sort of amazing defensive scheming where, guys aren't open. Guys are open. And on top of that, for the most part, he's got time. When he hasn't had time, it's on his own. On him.
Seconds in the pocket there. He's got he's just hanging around there looking for open receivers.
Yeah, it's rough.
Oh,
Pumpkin season. Pumpkin season. Daniel Jones, bring him in. Let him run a few. Give him a couple design runs. Give him his money.
No, I mean, it's just going to be McCarthy next year.
I know.
And I don't know what JJ McCarthy's going to be, but the Vikings have put up big offensive numbers with like Josh Dobbs for a month, Nick Mullins. These guys just figured they just suck, and they eventually started to turn the ball over like crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
minus 13.6 CPOE. Oh my goodness, man.
I mean, Justin Jefferson's a fucking cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fucking up. Scott, that's exactly it. I mean, these are conversations
for JJ.
That I've
6
had.
targets.
JJ McCarthy is going to be cheaper than Darnold. Like, what are you going to do about the money that you'd have to pay Darnold? Like, it's build out the roster. Is that going to go out of fucking bounds? Oh, no.
This is going to have some impact on comeback player of the year, right? if this continues.
I mean, if he had a shot, like, so I've seen this. I've seen a bunch of posts this week about they gave the guidance that they shouldn't vote this way, but
Right.
it doesn't mean that they can't vote this way. It's not like the votes get rejected. But when it comes down to it, is this a little more market sentiment, or is this a little bit more what we really think is going to happen?
Right.
And under that definition, it feels like it has to be Burrow.
People don't do what they're unless you explicitly tell you can't. The problem with the whole voting process is that they never told people you cannot vote for this. These are they didn't define the criteria like any other voting process would, right? Like typically you would say these types of players are ineligible. Instead, they said, well, we would encourage you not to vote for this type of player.
Right.
What the hell is that?
So, sixth man of the year a couple years ago in the NBA too was something like there are just these different guidelines, but then there's ambiguity after it. You know, I think you can't start more than, I forget what it was, 20 games or something like that.
Right.
And or half of the games. I don't remember what the rule was, but it was the same kind of thing where people that thought the person who should have won didn't get the votes. They voted for the guy who strictly came off the bench. Whereas in other years, they voted for people who had 20 starts. Like, it's just, was it Clive TA that was saying, like, my job's just to get into the voter's head. It's not to interpret the award correctly. And I guess he's right.
It is true.
Because there's so much ambiguity. It needs to be a little bit more clear.
Yep.
Like, I still think DeMar Hamlin should have won last year. Like, but, you know, Joe Flacco got it for coming off a couch.
I would have voted for Hamlin last year, personally. I think it's a pretty incredible feat to come back from dying on the field to playing again. That's just me.
So do I.
But what are you going to do? Big third down here because this is likely you're going to have to dodge third and fourth down here with the Lions. Running play.
Well, Scott, is anybody talking about who they're voting for in comeback player of the year? I haven't seen anything from the media really on that. I've only heard sentiment from mostly bettors.
They're marking them short here. So it's going to be fourth and one.
Got it, no?
I think it was close.
Well, if it's not, Campbell's going for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised they're not reviewing it, honestly. I think it seemed close enough. In real time, I thought he got there, so I'm surprised there's not.
Well, did they maybe give him help from the booth thing? New York?
Now that looks like is what's happening. Oh, no, Campbell's challenging straight up.
Oh.
Well, we're going to see now. Adam Shine and Rich Gannon voting for Darnold.
Oh, goodness.
It's really close, this review.
Yeah. I actually thought he had it the first time by extending, but it's closer than I thought.
Was the catch, no catch in Green Bay today the first time replay assist has ever been wrong ever? I'm trying to remember the play. I'm trying to remember the play. I watched so much football today and don't remember the play. You muted yourself. You muted yourself there.
Was it the play in the end zone with 2 steps and then he kind of still went to the ground, but it was more that he got tackled after he was in play? Because I kind of thought that was a touchdown too.
Yeah, I briefly remember it. No, I'm thinking of one down the sideline where it was a couple steps and then he went out of bounds. I want to say that was Atlanta, Carolina. I don't know. It's all just lumping together in my head.
Okay.
I don't remember the Musgrave play. I don't know why I don't remember it, but I don't remember it. at this point, which is unusual, honestly. Unusual.
There's a lot of football today and a lot of weird shit going on.
Was MVS against Tampa. That was the one that I was thinking of. Okay, Musgrave.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it.
What happened there? They just...
I guess they must have called that incomplete. I mean, that looks good to me.
Yeah, looked fine. I didn't see the ball touch the ground in any of the shots. I don't know. Weird one. Weird one.
What did they rule on the field? Still nothing? I'm still in commercial. Oh, here we go.
So they're coming back from commercial and saying it's not clear and obvious that he broke the line. So I think it's going to be 4th down still.
Down. Oh, my dog.
Yeah, it is. It's literally going to be the shortest measure possible.
They're going to bring out a playing card or an index card?
Imagine. Those were the days. Love that. No, they're just going to run some play action. And the ball got deflected, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Someone was definitely wide open. Somebody was definitely wide open.
Yeah, it looked like JMO. Yeah, how have we not solved for that, by the way? How have we not solved for the spotting and the chains and whatnot?
Billion-dollar company, they're just content to do whatever they want. I will say this. This is how a 56.5 doesn't get home. When teams just go for it on 4th down and they don't get...
And you get the bad 4th down variance, yeah.
Yeah, because that's 2 turnover on downs in the game now. And obviously Minnesota kicking a field goal was not ideal there either.
Yeah, I do not have anything on this total, and now I am super happy that I don't.
I gotta say, Detroit from 4th and inches, that's gotta be near automatic for that offensive line.
I think somebody put in the chat, it's that they're like 70% or something, like even just 4th downs as a whole.
Yeah, 21 of 30 this year on 4th down. 21 of 31 now. No, be 22 of 31 now because they completed one earlier.
They got one, yeah. Yeah, kind of nuts. I don't know. If I'm a Vikings fan, I do not feel good about what I'm seeing at all. Not at all. Like, if you can't get it to Justin Jefferson when he's open, that's a big fucking problem.
I mean, as a Vikings bettor, I'm not super.
You're not feeling good
right now. Well, the defense has played well. I mean, Detroit's not really hitting big plays. There's been no real chunk plays, I want to say. There was the one to St. Brown. But aside from that, nothing really. It's just the Vikings offense is very much stuck in the mud right now.
Yeah, it's unforced errors too. I mean, it's not like there's some abundance of pressure that's forcing Darnold to get rid of the ball early. He's just missing.
Yeah.
Like all of that. He had all the time in the world.
Yeah. That was a good play there. I don't know that I would run play action all too often. I would just have him drop back and look to pass. Over time, if you got receivers that are showing open, eventually he's going to make some throws. This is all about Detroit. Detroit only has one timeout left in that first half here. So for Minnesota, this is all about maximizing points per second, basically, at this point. Do not want to score. You want to score, obviously, a touchdown, ideally, but you want to do it with as little time left because Minnesota will start the second half with the ball as well.
Yeah. What do you think we're going to do for the playoffs for watch-alongs?
Every night game.
Oh, awesome.
I think I'm going to commit to it. Saturday, Steelers, Ravens. Sunday, Bucks, Commanders, Monday, Rams, hopefully Lions. As long as the nails are down for it. If you guys want to join me Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm down for the first 2 weeks of the playoffs. You guys know the drill on Championship Sunday. That's going to be Jason and all of our Forward Progress group taking you home. That's my 1 day a year, sacred. Been doing it since we were young with friends. But these next 2 rounds, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Why not? I'm going to watch the games anyways. Might as well just turn on the camera.
Yeah.
Right? Gonna do it anyways.
One's in the chat. I don't like being referred to as a nail. That's fair.
It's I mean,
okay. I get it.
If Marcus, if you can come up with an alternative, then let's hear it. But it makes sense, right? We're the Hammer Betting Network. The hammer, the nails. What else?
Yeah, I've never come up with something better. I have not come up with something better. Is Circle Back coming back this week?
Yeah. Circle Back is we're recording
back
tomorrow. It'll be back out on Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Man, there's I finished the rundown this afternoon, and there was like my head almost exploded going through the past few weeks. Just the insane amount of content to work with. Insane amount of content.
Well, if you don't do it every week, it piles up. It's like fucking laundry. Like it's
true.
There's no shortage of stupidity and dumb takes to discuss.
There's just so many beefs that are happening these days, man, on gambling Twitter. It's nuts.
Well, yeah, and I know there's the whole Seville thing of like always follow rule number 3, never admit you're wrong on the internet. And man, people are double and tripling down. I'm interested to see where you guys go with it this week.
Yeah. I think a lot of people can probably guess what's going to go on there.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be one of the topics.
Lots of beefs over the holiday season. Plus EV versus
seriously.
everyone. We had Colin Wilson versus everyone. We had Kirk Evans versus Rass. And then Fezzik thought he was getting called out by Rass. There was
that was good too. Yeah.
I had some beef with like some owner's box guys. There was just a lot going on. Equal says
get
Plus EV
in
the chair. I don't think Plus EV is a fan of the show, to be honest. I don't think he's I think he likes to steer clear of that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's his world or his cup of tea. I forgot about the owner's box. Yeah, they really dug the fuck in.
Yeah.
What was the topic that guy? I mean, I even responded because it was so ridiculous. Not that it takes all that much for me.
The Colin Wilson one or the owner's box one?
No, Colin Wilson, I remember. He brutally fucked up the Ohio State opener. No, the owner's box. What was that about?
It was week 18 trends or week 17 trends. I don't know, one or the other.
I
it was like
the
home
TikTok.
ATS.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas Day trends. Christmas Day trends.
Yes. That's what it was.
And then, like these guys just doubled down on their shit takes, right?
That's what I mean. Like
instead of just acknowledging that maybe this stuff doesn't have, then they went in on there's no such thing as a professional bettor. That was like the big thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I actually really like that guy on Twitter. I think he's hilarious. I don't follow him for any gambling reasons. He's like strictly like a Jay's Twitter guy. And he's like one of the bigger guys on Jay's Twitter. He's hilarious. But like, I don't know how he got roped into the owner's box gambling stuff. He just does gambling stuff for them now. It's just sad to see. But he's a nice guy.
I think I met that guy before.
You definitely have.
I think he came to the Bet Stamp office once.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because he's
a nice guy.
BetStamp, probably 4 years ago, had an influencer program that was run by Josh Goodwin at the time, right? And he was basically reaching out to everybody at that time to try to get them to track on BetStamp. That was the whole thing. Like, do your content, but track the stuff on BetStamp. And I'm pretty sure the Owner's Box guys came to the office at one time.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain.
I don't know about the Owner's Box guy. Like, Johnny and Owner's Box are separate in my head, but I guess they work together. I don't know. But those Owner's Box guys are like, But Johnny, I think is nice. It's just he shouldn't be posting that though.
Yeah, that Owner's Box group, I guess because I'm not in Toronto, they haven't made it to Jersey yet. But it just felt like poor man's book it with Trent kind of shit, like on some of the things that I saw after the fact. I'm like, what do you guys, come on. No such thing as a pro better. Get the fuck out of here. All right, come on. Another third down, big play. Can we do, oh, Jesus, fuck.
Kick this field goal and cover the spread. I mean, I had to use money line on the best bet trail, but I'll take some +3.
There has not been a single play that I would grade as plus, I don't think, from Darnold this half.
I think Joe A would grade it an A+ half.
Oh,
Darnold is white after all.
yeah, there is that. Oh, he was I saw the Mayo takes and then the Vrabel takes from him after. He feels so bad for Drake May, like he's being held hostage in some shit situation.
Yeah. Dolphins just announced they aren't going to try to be competitive for the foreseeable future on Twitter. I saw this, that they're bringing McDaniel back for another season. I don't have any issue with that, honestly. I think if Tua was healthy this year, I think the Dolphins would have made the playoffs with a healthy Tua this year. And I don't even think highly of Tua. It's just that the alternatives were so bad.
They were. I think they just ended up a little bit on the wrong side of variance from a health perspective.
Yeah. He's also the most handsome coach in the league.
Yeah, clearly.
People were getting on his case when like fucking Skylar Thompson and Snoop Huntley are starting these games. Like, these guys suck and they can't run the ball.
Awful.
They can't. I mean, maybe they need to figure that out and be like less of a finesse team. But
did the missus show up with a beer, or did you just find one like under the desk? Like,
I may have sent her a message on WhatsApp asking for a beer.
Nice job, Mrs. P.
Do you text your wife on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
You got to keep it encrypted. You got to protect yourself.
You don't do like iMessage or text. It's WhatsApp.
Are you fucking joking me with what just happened right now? Did
he kick it out of bounds?
Banana just booted it out of bounds. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, this is gross. Yeah, it's a legal procedure. What does it matter? My dog is fucking crying.
Will Reichard. Dude, you got just one job at this point, to not kick it out of bounds.
That's the only thing you can't do. That's literally
20 seconds left in a timeout. Just don't kick it out of bounds. Don't kick it out of bounds.
This is
make them return it. Make them return it. Pain. What is pain?
So where do they get it? They're at the 40 automatically.
At the 40. 3-man rush. Of course, completion downfield out of bounds. Like,
oh, well, it fucking drove me nuts with the Bears today. And the last did you see the last play for Caleb Williams to get into field goal position? Green Bay basically had 3 guys like 25 yards fucking deep. Like, what are we doing?
I did see that. Will Reichard cost the fucking Vikings? Well, they have to make the. I don't even want to say make the kick. There's 41 seconds left. I don't even know what the hell might happen here.
15 seconds.
15 seconds. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, they still got a shot over the middle at a minimum,
which they've taken now,
and
they're going to let it run all the way down. Smart team. It'll be a 48-yard kick indoors.
Field goal. Yeah, no shit, Dan. Like, even this one you can't go for. Like, come on. All right, let's see what we get here. This is the kind of shit that drives me nuts when I'm on the wrong side of this.
I don't like this stuff. It really is.
Yeah. Because this is avoidable. Like, it's so fucking stupid.
It's Minnesota's good coaching staff. Like it's the last thing you expect is for them to kick the ball out of bounds after that field goal.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that they get the first possession of the next half. Like, you got to get to the half within a field goal.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What do we got? Jake Bates stretching. Let's go. Are we icing? We're icing.
I'm very pro ice.
Let's go.
I'm pro ice. Just to make it very clear there that I did not say something else.
Not pro
ice.
Grapes, frozen grapes and drinks. You're pro ice.
Well, if the ice will dilute the drink if left outdoors in the summer.
Okay, fair.
This is just a well-known fact.
Where are you on Tom Brady as an announcer, by the way? Because I'm listening to him today and it's painful.
I think it's kind of lame. I don't think he's offering enough. He should be able to offer more to the broadcast, in my opinion.
Yeah. I haven't been a fan, and I don't feel like he's gotten any better. I miss Olsen. All right down the fucking middle, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. Come here. I got a dog that's whining here. I think she has to go outside.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you go, Clive. Thank you very much for joining in the first half. Hopefully we can get some Sam Darnold magic in half number 2.
All right, man. Good luck. Good luck, everybody. See you.
Clive Bixby, everyone. I'm not a huge fan of the way that half ended. I might have to erase the skull on the chalkboard. I feel like that could possibly have negative repercussions at this moment in time. Like, some sort of jinx is happening.
Got to do something to shake it up. Like, I don't know. Tell Moretto to like turn his socks inside out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You ever do that? Like the vibes off. I sometimes swap my socks on my left sock goes on my right foot. My right sock goes on my left foot.
I never do that. The most I'll do is move around in the room to watch from a different spot, different seat. I don't really have that option available to me right now, though. You know? Or else I would go that route. Second half's got to be a pick, right? Something like that.
Very heavily Vikings. Not very heavily, but it's moving though towards a pick. Moving towards a pick. Yeah. Why would you take the Lions right now plus 108, or you would need something more?
No, I'm not taking the Lions right now.
Too much on the pregame.
Yeah, I get it. I've invested at this point. I'm invested in the Vikings.
Yeah, they look fine. It's just like Sam Darnold's got to like connect on throws, and we're good. Like looking at the box score is a little painful right now. Just looking at like the
just hit a throw, man. Yeah. Just hit a throw. Make a throw.
Do we like send him some like Oxycontin or like some form of? Do we give him just like painkillers just to like calm down? Like you know how they use that for like guys.
This guy needs to smoke a joint at the half.
Yeah, man. Honestly, something.
Someone get Darnold some indica at the half. I'm sure Fienberg could get him some indica at the half.
Is he coming on today? I sent him the link. He hasn't responded to me.
I don't know.
He's still vacating.
Maybe. He's probably still celebrating the Chargers getting to play the Texans instead of the Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you bet any comeback player of the year? I know you guys talked about it. I got like a Joy Taylor ticket in like last second, so that was helpful for me today.
You got a who?
Joy Taylor.
Okay.
For comeback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have much going on in the awards markets this year. I don't have much. I had some Mike McDonald coach of the year earlier in the year. I'm gonna cash some Burrow passing yard stuff. I'm just gonna double check that right now. Pretty sure he's gonna end up. That's what happened. You opened it up, man.
We have to ask. I mean, we can not talk about it if you want to, but someone wants to know Fienberg's thoughts on it. So
yeah, it's all right. We can ask him. Going to be interested. That's the type of commentary that Geoff is into.
Yeah, it's a whole can. I didn't even know. Was this like announced that this was happening before all this stuff came out, or?
I don't know. That I honestly don't know. I'm gonna have to do a deeper dive.
Yeah, the USC guys cleared, obviously, because the USC guys are just good guys.
Do we dare do a punt parlay for second half? Like, I don't want to cheer for the Vikings to punt, though. That's the problem. But these seem to always. They seem to be our bread and butter.
Honestly, why don't we do punt touchdown parlay? And we get something fixed here with CJ Hawkinson.
Probably how many Jefferson's got a lot of targets, right?
That's 6.
That's 6.
2 catches is insane.
Addison doesn't have a catch yet this game, huh?
I maybe squeaky wheel it. Like, it could be a squeaky wheel thingy.
Could be a losing money type of thing.
Maybe.
I'm down to lose some more money.
I'm sure but here's the thing. It's like punt parlay. Haven't tracked it historically, but I feel like it might be that. I might go out on a limb here and say it's down.
You're going to go out on a limb and say
I'm going to go.
It is most certainly down. It is most certainly down. That has not stopped me at any time before.
Of course. It's touchdown, and Addison to catch a pass. I don't want the Lions to get a touchdown, though.
Honestly,
the reason why you don't.
It's not a terrible look. I mean, I don't ever want to bet Lions field goal attempt unless they're going to be running out of clock, because they're just like, they're so aggressive on 4th down. And it's the same with the Vikings, honestly. They're pretty aggressive on 4th down.
I mean, to me, though, I don't think the Lions should be priced because the Vikings are going to get it out of half. Let's play through this parlay, right? The Vikings are getting it out of half, and we need them to score a touchdown first.
Vikings are going down the field and scoring a tonner.
Yeah. Will Reichert, I swear to God, I hope to God he doesn't kick it out again. So they're going to get the ball around the 35, maybe a little bit further back. Punt is looking good in that scenario.
What about
punt is looking good?
What about a Jared Goff blindside fumble?
And any other?
All right. We're going offensive touchdown for the Vikings drive.
Yeah,
here's what we in the chat. 1 if you want to go Lions touchdown, 2 if you want to go field goal attempt, 3 if you want to go punt, 4 if you want to go any other.
So people are going to troll and put 1.
Why? I don't care. I'll go 1.
I don't want to go 1. I don't want.
I mean, I could easily see the Lions going down.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 4s leading the way. Or 3s are mounting a comeback. Ooh, it's between 3 and 4. Tie game right now. 3 moves ahead. Oof. All right. Lions punt. It's actually tied right now. This is going to be really challenging.
All right, let's narrow it down to punt and any other then.
Let's play 1 of each.
So 1. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Small. Like, reduce your stake size, cut your stake size in half that you were going to play on it.
Yeah, instead of like a 24-ouncer, put it like a 6-ouncer.
Give me a second to get this in here. Offensive touchdown for the Vikings. Justin Jefferson to catch a pass.
Detroit Lions, any other.
And then a separate one of Detroit Lions.
And a separate one of Detroit Lions punt.
This is such a horrible bet, but it's going in.
Yeah, we're getting it like.
I don't care. I honestly don't care at this point.
If you split it at 50-50, you're getting it like it's 12-1 for.
Been a good season.
About there.
It's been a good season.
I don't know. Jefferson TD. What would that pay out?
It's not going to change a ton, right? because
it's all correlated. Obviously, offensive touchdown, Jefferson next touchdown. Like
Anthony does raise a great point. Like any other at 5-1 is a horrible bet. I'm very much aware. Very, very much aware at this.
But
point.
I think punt at plus 165 is not as bad. If that makes sense. I don't know. I like to talk myself into this stuff, as you can see. Oh man, how was your betting day today? Good, like basketball, obviously. Basketball.
Drew Holiday fucked me in the early game today.
That's not good.
I got some good Drew numbers. Drew, not bad. Whatever. I was mostly focused on NFL today, so
yeah.
I didn't get a.
Is there any live bets that you didn't make that you wish you clicked on, that you saw the number and you're like, I should probably click this, and then it moved, or like maybe you took a second and didn't?
I clicked everything I wanted to.
You clicked everything? Okay, good.
I had an absurd amount of bets today. Absurd amount of bets. I don't know what the bet count was. I placed 71 live bets today.
Holy smokes. That's crazy.
I thought it was going to be higher, honestly. This guy, JSN, absolutely boned me live today. Boned. Just needed that one more reception. I also had some DK Metcalf live overs as well. I think he missed by 5 yards. Anyways, that game was ultimate pain. Even though the Seahawks covered.
Seattle, yeah.
Ultimate pain.
What playoff matchup are you most looking forward to watch? Not like bet on, just watch.
Probably Eagles Packers.
Yeah. Hurts is going to be good for that, or do we even know?
That's one thing. So like, I know some guys who played look ahead numbers on Green Bay that are good numbers now. They played like -2.5, -120 or
on the hypotheticals.
Yeah. But like, there's a non-zero chance that Jalen Hurts is not fine for the game. I'm not saying I think he will play. But there's a small percentage where he doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's also the thing that TA mentioned where it's like privately to us.
Mm-hmm.
Just like quarterbacks off concussions tend to have like a little bit of a dip.
Yeah, that does tend to happen. First game back off a concussion tends to be. Yeah.
Scott said he's present at walkthrough on Saturday, but I feel like that like you could be present at a walkthrough and still have a concussion. Like was wearing sunglasses is the key.
Jason's present in our Hammer meetings and he still produces like he has a concussion. Same thing happens. Oh man.
Wait, why? What happened?
I'm just
in general.
I'm just, just a little bit. I'm a little amped. I'm a little wired.
From what I did?
No, nothing.
Oh,
we're off of you. We've been off.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just reliving the first half in my head, right? And I close my eyes, and I see Darnold missing a wide open receiver, and then I'm like, keep my eyes closed. I see him missing another wide open receiver.
Every time you blink, it happens, eh?
It feels inevitable that he's gonna make a big mistake.
I feel like we're gonna get a big second half adjustment here.
Yeah,
that's what I think. Yeah.
All right. I like the positivity. Hopefully not from the Lions.
Yeah, we need to do something to change vibe as well. I forgot about that.
How did that guy kick the ball out? How did Mike kick the ball out of bounds? Did you see that kick?
Yeah, that was bad.
It wasn't even remotely close to landing in bounds. Like, this is a professional kicker. He has one job. One job.
Yeah. Is this fake news? Someone in the chat is tweeting about Canadian politics.
No, Trudeau is resigning. Yeah, he's
Confirmed?
Got this information yesterday. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
My Trudeau tickets cashed.
What's
Kidding.
Trudeau tickets?
I don't know. That was a joke. That's not real. I was gonna say like Trudeau to resign in 2024, 5, whatever. All right. What do you want most to happen right now? What do you want most to happen? Is it a Vikings win? Is it a Justin Jefferson receiving yards or receptions over? What do you want? Just
No,
I want the chat to I want the chat to drop it. Like just type out what you and you. Sometimes it's good to like manifest stuff. So I like to like just say it out loud.
Should I erase the skull on the board? Or do you think that's too desperate of a move?
No.
It does reek of desperation, and it's only 10-6.
Do you draw like a little Viking horn? Like
I can't draw for shit.
Oh.
It's gonna end up inadvertently looking like a penis, and we don't erase half of it. Leave
I
it
like this, but don't erase like the SK or the OL. Like erase it horizontally, if that makes sense.
What if I add a vertical skull as well? Here, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, do it from like SKOL down. Riveting content here. He can't hear us, but he's got to make it way thicker. I can't. How can I see that? Oh man, those are some good axes back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 axes. Wow. Nice grout fit, by the way.
Now we're cooking.
Nice grout fit.
I don't know what you just said.
Grout fit.
Grout
fit.
I actually don't know
outfit.
what that is.
Gray outfit. Like when you wear all gray.
Yeah, whatever. This is my standard home attire.
What does this mean?
I honestly don't know. Top-notch fart catchers.
What?
It's interesting.
Oh
my God! They came out of the half with this. This is what we got on 2nd and 8.
Behind you.
A pump and go to nobody. We're already down to needing a first down on a 3rd and 8.
That's not good. It's funny because
Yeah.
Anyways, I was gonna say I can't stand up right now because I'm not wearing pants, but I'm just thinking about that.
Lord McD. It's a telly on that side right there. Good eye. It is a telly. All right. Got one more play here. And then we're going to see how sauced Fienberg is tonight.
It's probably pretty joyful today.
Yeah, I think
now that the Chargers won. Very joyful.
Oh, thank God for those flags, baby. Keep the drive alive. Keep the drive alive. Ref. They both threw flags. It's got to be illegal contact or pass interference. Thank you.
All right.
Brian Branch.
We'll take it.
I'm a big fan of Brian Branch.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
That he has to play for the Lions, but
yeah, not tonight. We are.
I am a Brian Branch guy. I'm a brancher. All right. 3rd quarter underway. Sweating the Vikings, obviously. A man who no longer has to sweat about a playoff matchup would be Jeffrey Fienberg. Drinking a big glass of water. You know what that means. It's your first tell right there, Geoff.
That's okay. That's where I got up. I saw you. If you saw me run away for a second, had to get my glass of water. Been a bad show without it. This Viking, like Rob, however long you've been watching football, like that first half was the Vikings of our life.
It's true.
And I know people can make that joke. The Chargers, though, you'll make it about the Chargers next week, I'm sure, at some point during the playoff game, and it'll feel true to me. But whatever happened in that first half is everything I feel like that's been that team my whole life. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is whatever you got going on around your neck there, is that a pillow or is that part of the Jack Chargers attire? What is that?
It's just like
Okay, it's just gone. All right, let's go, Akers. Go, Akers. Go. Get in the end zone. Go. Oh, down at the 5.
the 5.
We got Cam Akers 5-1 anytime touchdown, and I think Aaron Jones is going to the locker room.
Okay, let's go. Oh, these guys have been pigly at the goal line tonight.
We need Justin Jefferson to catch a pass too, though. The parlays are not anyways.
Whoa. Oh yeah, we need him to catch a pass on this drive.
Yeah, either Jefferson's got to get up the touchdown or Akers got to get the touchdown. One of the two.
Well, we have a good situation we're in then.
Yeah, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot until Jordan Addison catches the touchdown, but whatever.
We just want the touchdown. I don't
Just
care
get a
who scores
touchdown.
it.
Just get a touchdown.
Scoring's been hard. They're not going to get away with this much longer. We need the touchdown.
Minnesota red zone's been a big problem today.
Geoff, you on the Vikings?
Yes.
Nice.
Anything else that you're
Not really.
for here?
Just the Vikings didn't get deep in any props. I got lost in those games today, Rob. Those early games, that crazy NFC South bullshit.
Yep.
I didn't even know Rashawn Slater wasn't playing.
I bet the Raiders as soon as he was inactive. He was just inactive for rest today. I'm like, well, that's got to mean something. Oh, Aaron Jones is back in the game, not Aaron Jones. Down at the 2. It's down at the 2. You know what? When was the last time you seen a naked boot? Because if they'd run a naked bootleg
So
right
like
now,
Oliver?
no, just naked. Like Darnold runs it in himself. I saw a highlight from 20 years ago. It was Cowboys Broncos. No, it wasn't 20 years ago. It was like 10 years ago.
What, it's like Brock Osweiler, naked boot?
Peyton Manning, naked boot, fooled the cameraman and everyone. Nobody had any idea he had the ball, and he just walked into the end zone.
Rob, you know what? I actually really need the Vikings here for a wins pool. A pretty substantial one, and I'd have God damn it! They got to go for it.
They have to go. I mean, the field goal would be nice for the spread, but they got to go for it. It's getting ridiculous at this point.
When did the goal line pass defense of the Lions become the 85 Bears? This goddamn bullshit. And that bullshit no safety call.
What the fuck was? I forgot about that. Now, Matt, you're bringing up bad memories, man. I forgot about that.
Yeah, what an insane bailout by the refs. Yeah, man, targeting right.
Yeah. He hit the offensive lineman with the pass.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get it in here. Oh, he had him. Why did he not throw the crosser? Darnold, you had him, you goof. Oh, my God, Darnold, you suck. Do you know how painful this is?
How are they doing it again?
Why did he not throw the he had the wide open slant. How did he not throw the slant?
Oh, Darnold. Fuck.
I can't even take joy in all these comments about you looking like you're coming from a MAGA rally. I can't take joy in these.
Hold on a second. Why?
Geoff was hunting earlier. It's the jacket, man. You look like...
It's not a jacket. It's a hoodie. That's okay. It's cold out. Rob, you've been so actually deep into this game. You probably haven't even seen the big story on the internet. But everyone in Canada should be celebrating tonight.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you don't got to...
I got that news yesterday.
Oh, look at Rob. Insider, eh?
Couldn't capitalize on it. I tried.
No, nothing on Pauly. There's nothing on Pauly to even an election date. Really, eh? Oh, God damn it! Lions are gonna go 98 goddamn yards right now.
While we're at commercial break, we have to ask you about
Jason. Remember about
Acho and Joy Taylor.
Well, what about Joy? I mean, like, we want joy. Like, joy is probably the way some of you gamblers feel, like professionals feel about Taylor Mathis. I would think like people who work in TV probably feel that way about joy. Just Jason Taylor's brother. She's got a nice, whatever. Yeah, listen, like who gives a shit? But when I have no previous beef with Joy. Acho, what do you want me to say? That he's like, Herbert's amazing. Like, that's all. Like, you want to count out Justin Herbert, like, you will not get the last laugh. You'll get occasional laughs, and a lot of them. The last laugh on like Justin Herbert's ability be mine. He was awesome today, Rob.
Oh, he's
chucking last few weeks. I know the opponents have been shit, but he's getting like whatever. That can't like he is in a good zone if it's gonna take chucking it 35 times a game to like win AFC playoff games. We'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
Who do you like in that game?
I think it's fine, like a good line.
Yeah. It's really annoying. It's the first game. That just means like, whatever happens.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Could ruin the whole weekend for you.
Yeah, it's gonna annoy my whole weekend.
Yeah.
So that's
I know.
Oh, I'm already thinking about it. Even though I never had expectations all year, but now I'll have them because they're road favorites in the playoff game.
Goff just threw an arm punt, Geoff, where you got the ball back.
Thank you.
Listen, it's actually not the end of the world for Detroit.
Yes.
Harrison
Rob,
Smith,
it does. Listen, listen, just 30 seconds of Chargers radio. Part of me, I'm such a defeated loser. I was like, whatever, maybe Pittsburgh can just win last night. And then I don't even we'll just get Baltimore and the season's a success. No one's going to hold getting whoever loses to Baltimore. Like how hard in wild card weekend, who they play? That's a blur to me now.
Pittsburgh. Baltimore's Pittsburgh.
Well, then Pittsburgh's got their own problems. But let's say the Chargers or Denver have played Baltimore in the playoffs and got waxed. Like, what are you gonna really hold that against their season? Probably. I don't know. So now there's gonna be an expectation. Herbert better win this goddamn game. But it sets up my dream. Like I dreamed for the
Yeah.
I don't even Like
I'm gonna just bookmark this because we're gonna have to cut this clip in a few weeks.
No, that's fine. They're the three, but I want it. Like I want it. Like I'm that wrestler that wants to be the first guy in Survivor Series to get railroaded by the Ultimate Warrior. You know what I mean? Like
Terry and Arnold is down and he looks like he's badly hurt on this play, which would just be another. I don't know how the Lions are doing this, Geoff, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just listen, come whatever. If they're gonna take I got nothing to lose. Like that's a free roll for the Chargers, and I want it. I'd want it.
It is and it isn't though.
Nothing.
It's not a free roll. I know what you're saying because people expect the Chargers to lose that game, but if they lose that game, there's still gonna be the bullshit Justin Herbert questions. Is he truly an elite quarterback? Can he get them over the hump? If he can't beat Mahomes, then what good is he? You're going to get all of that stuff.
Can't beat Mahomes. What good is he? Yeah. So that first game, it's just going to ruin the goddamn week. It's my mother-in-law's 70th birthday on Saturday night, Rob. She's having a party. My wife loves me. I'm not going to have to be a part of that. But, either I'll go and I'll, crush the karaoke or I'll just, be home. I would never give the recipe out. I'd never give the recipe out. But, I put myself out with an elephant tranquilizer.
I see.
But I wouldn't want Forward Progress to get sued. So I'd never share that concoction over the air. Because someone might try that and, then we're dead. Then we're getting sued.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, so I don't need to share it, but yeah. So that's see, I'm already planning my playoff elephant tranquilizer. God damn it! And that's gonna be Saturday early.
You should plan your playoff karaoke. If the Chargers win, you should sing "Thunderstruck" at karaoke. It's a classic Charger song. And it has thunder in the title. It's a perfect.
Well, no, it says
song
like
for
San
any
Diego
Colts fan.
Superchargers.
Well,
I might
yeah,
go
I
to.
know.
I might go to. We'll talk about it in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you could also do Electric Avenue. That's another one that has some sort of, Charger.
Yeah.
Type
Yeah.
of
No,
reference.
there's a lot of. How illegal is the recipe? It's a concoction. There's some over the counter. There's some illegal. There is some like shit that's really behind lock and key that people will like try to like rob the drugstore for. It's really a bit of everything.
I'm going to step in here just for 1 second. And I just want to say, here's a PSA. Don't try to mix drugs, legal or illegal. Just don't try to recreate any concoction.
Don't do what Geoff Fienberg does. Ever.
Don't be like Geoff.
Yeah, no.
Don't be like
Geoff, just so I can avoid doing this in the future, can you just put the combination in the private chat just so I know what not to do?
I haven't done it well, actually, not so true. Last time I did it was that Jacksonville playoff loss. I'm not calling myself an elephant, although you can. I'm saying like to go on the nap I want to go on. I take a dosage that I think they'd give an elephant if the zoo wanted to knock him out. That's what I'm talking about.
Geoff, don't do that stuff. You can't tell me that as your friend, man.
That's okay. That's okay.
An elephant. What does an elephant weigh relative? What's the weight?
It's a joke. I don't think it. Like I'll tell Jason. He'll be like, "Oh shit, I thought it'd be that much worse." That's fine.
No, wait. I'll be the barometer for the chat. If you drop it in the private chat, not the actual chat, or you could just text it to me on Telegram. Or
this quarter's going way too goddamn slow. There's
very
still
slow.
11 minutes left.
I know. I don't know how there's like no time has elapsed in this quarter. Throw
Did
the
I
ball, Darnold.
freeze?
Oh my God! Did he throw a pick? Oh my God!
No, you're good.
No,
You're
he
good.
didn't.
Did Darnold throw a pick and did I freeze?
He didn't throw a pick.
You didn't freeze.
You didn't freeze.
The only thing that's frozen is your t-shirts.
And I have just
That's true.
I have just realized right now
Yeah.
that Saturday has given us the classic Harbaugh parlay option as well. Saturday. Of course they're going to call grounding on this one. I mean, in fairness, this was grounding. There was no one.
They I think
They need to
Amazon
stop running play action. No more play action, by the way.
I think Amazon got first overall pick, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
which one's the Amazon game? Is that Saturday night?
Yeah.
You think they went yeah. This played out exactly like I'm not Nostradamus or anything. This is not exactly a challenging.
No, this is pretty rare, Rob, when they'll run 3 straight AFC, 3 straight NFC. I don't never recall that happening before. Not saying I disagree with it.
But forget about that altogether.
Once Baltimore and Pittsburgh were both playing yesterday, I was pretty certain they would play that game today. I mean, on Saturday. If that
got a hard-hitting question that I want to ask you here after. Please don't call OPI. Please no OPI. No OPI. Okay, we're good so far. Hard-hitting question here for you. Does Geoff put his shirts in the oven in the winter?
No.
You don't
just bundle up.
Put the shirts in the pizza oven?
Yeah, no, that's not my move. It's hard. It's hard. You just got to layer up. In the it's easier in the summer, I guess. But no, in the winter, just layer up. That's all.
Yeah, you ever put them in the dryer just before you're about to put them on? Like just give it a little 5-minute tumble.
Sometimes, get good service. Like when, if your mom loves you or like, sometimes that like towel would go in the dryer before you'd be getting like out of the pool or something on a cold day. But like, that's like if your like mom really loves you or your wife or something. But
I put the towels in the dryer before I go hit the hot tub now because I don't want the towels hanging out.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. For sure. Any of those boys that do like those cold plunge shit? Is it good, Rob?
It's good. It's down the pipe. It's good. All right. So we're 10-9. We're covering the spread right now.
Yeah, it's the slowest 8 minutes of like this 5
8 minutes.
How was that 5 minutes?
I honestly don't know.
I'm telling you in real time that was insane to be 5 minutes. What just happened there? Downs to the one play interception.
Yeah.
6-play field goal.
I mean, we're up
Sure.
2 in the turnover margin. It's not good right now. I mean, it's very even statistical box. I don't even want to try to figure it out. If I could get us tickets, Geoff, Saturday, Chargers, Texans.
Oh, no, I don't travel for a wild card. If it was Buffalo, I'd have to. I got too many bigger aspirations, and I'd be away for a lot of weeks if I started traveling on wild card. Like that's a big game, but I'm not here
because we
for
could
that.
easily get like a flight out, like 11:30 at not like a late flight out.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Be able to watch the Ravens game at the airport over a couple beers.
I don't know if you're like now joking or being serious, but if you're gonna put my hamster on this wheel, then I don't know. No, I'd say we save it for like a better barbecue next week. And that's the thing. Like, I want to go to a game because all I want to do when they lose is just like, you know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: the soft fan in me, like, I would rather go see Chargers Texans than go to Arrowhead to see the Chargers because I don't want to be in the cold in January outside. Like I'm admittedly soft. So this is a good venue for me to watch a playoff game.
Who do you actually, but like, you actually want to go to Houston?
Why not?
I'll go
Don't
with you
travel for a while.
Well, Jason, you'll have to do the show, unfortunately.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Someone's got to step in.
Okay. It's not a day game, is it? It's a night game. Shit.
Well, the problem is the Steelers and Ravens play right afterwards.
Yeah, just get back to hotel. Little, how do you do? Do.
Yeah, but I'd probably just go straight from the game to the airport.
Yeah, I want to.
watch the
That's
Ravens
the
game at the
problem.
airport.
It's a problem if they lose. Fuck.
Either that or we get a really early flight.
Can you
out.
imagine? Like, I like the Chargers too much. If they lose, I have to like travel instead of just being home. Oh my God, that sounds
all right. I just threw it out there. You don't seem you don't seem very.
I'm a delicate flower.
Mm.
There's like a risk reward, and wild card weekend like doesn't pay off enough for me to do it.
I gotta say, you said you don't travel for Chargers wildcard games.
Yeah,
but like they don't make it.
So then I don't travel. But like I was at that's fine. You can like mob when they were at the AFC title game in Boston. Mm-hmm. I was there. It was a one fucking game. Nate Kading made his kicks. Rivers played without an ACL.
You know, every now and then I go.
I was at a playoff game in Pittsburgh like 6 years ago. Mm. It's like I'll go, but I'm not going to a wild card weekend. I'm just not.
Is there a bigger fan of their team amongst Hammer creators than this fine gent here? I think the closest.
Everyone's a big fan.
Well, TA
people are a big fan,
and Moretto's a really big Vikings fan too, like a delusional type of Vikings fan. He's a big one. TA's a big Browns fan. I listen. I've liked the Cowboys my whole life, but the team is I'm in a period of misery right now with the organization.
Of course. Where it's you're apathetic towards it, where it's
it's just tough. It's just tough.
I feel like I don't want to unpack this right now, Geoff, but I feel like part of the reason why you don't want to go is because you're afraid of getting hurt. Like that's like a major reason why you don't want to go.
Hurt? Like what do you mean hurt?
Like if you're afraid of seeing your team lose and being like, now I gotta fucking.
Oh yeah, so then then I'm gonna sit there. Like there's no
confidence.
Painful.
The reward is like the payoff isn't worth like the downside for something.
Especially going into enemy territory, you're going to be wearing Chargers gear. And if they get blown out too, like that is just...
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably wear this hoodie because it's just like neutral. And it's like, listen, I support the troops. What are you going to yell at me? Like, I think that's good road apparel is the salute to service stuff. Because it's like, listen, we all support USA, right? Like,
wow. I knew there was something something up there. I knew there was something up there. Good road travel gear.
Oh,
hilarious.
Yeah,
That's a problem, by the way. He's got to get up. Harrison Phillips, I think he got poked in the eye. It's their nose tackle. Would be a pretty big issue if Harrison Phillips is out.
No. It's not so. I'm not claiming that I served.
It sounds like you wouldn't claim not to have served.
I think it's stolen valor of being American.
Okay, maybe.
It's true, but we are the 51st state.
It's true. It's true. We're the 51st state.
Yeah.
Rob, I smuggled these Take 5 Reese's chocolate bars back. They don't have them in Canada.
What do you mean
like
you smuggled them back?
Yeah, you call me Pablo Escobar.
In your underwear? Like you just put them in the trunk of your car when you came back?
Yeah, my luggage. But like I had so much, I felt like I was Pablo Escobar.
Are they like they're the real deal then?
Yeah, they're the goods.
Mm.
They're the goods.
Can you bring me a Take 5 to the office?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll leave one on the desk for Jason also.
The Stoner 6 Battalion really got me.
I like that too.
What is a Take 5? I've never had it before.
It's like a Reese's. It's like a different version of Reese's.
Lyman says we definitely have Take 5 in Canada.
Mm.
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen Take 5 before, personally. And I've tried all the Reese products I can get my hands on.
Oh, Rob, do you want to know something?
You don't have to ask me, by the way.
I didn't bet. I'm not one of those no betters. But on my show, listen, I was so checked out. We did the show early before Scotty even withdrew.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure I said, like, if there's a good player, like I have no interest in this week, it would be Matsuyama. And he won the fucking golf. So, yeah, there's that. So I'm off to a hot start.
There's, this is not an exaggeration. The golfer I've definitely lost the most on in my entire life is Hideki Matsuyama. Not betting him, but actually betting him in tournaments that he never won. When he used to be the fucking worst putter, it used to rattle me so hard. Like I'm not. Anyways, Hideki's it's cost me some dough in the past. I still have a fondness for him though.
Yeah, it's hard not to like that guy.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a good toss by Geoff. That was a dart into coverage there. 3rd and short, 4 down territory.
Oh fuck.
4 down territory. Did you look at the rundown for Circle Back tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
I will.
No, I'm not. I'm just curious. Somebody asked if there's a topic you're really interested in for tomorrow, and I was.
Oh yeah, listen, the gamut. It's all. I mean, it's crazy. Things happen. A lot of things happened over
quite
a period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Matsuyama needed to rev his engine. Thanks, Ryan. I don't know. Look, he shot. He killed it. He won.
Oh, man.
This game's gonna bite me in the ass. It's not gonna end well.
I felt that way the entire game. I think I got to erase the skull on the board, honestly.
The what on the board?
I got skull going both ways here on the board behind me.
I thought you were doing math earlier when I showed up.
Math? You want me to do a math?
Yeah, I know. So you were writing on the board. I'm like, I don't like this.
Just erase the SKO and keep the 2 L's. I feel like it's more symbolic.
Oh my god, man!
How is there still 5 minutes left in this quarter? By the way,
I just feel like I'm in so much agony watching this game.
Yeah, I can't believe. I shouldn't be surprised at how annoying the Vikings have been, but I don't know. Replaying all of it, I don't know how it's possible this is the score.
I feel an incredible amount of pain right now. Are you really tired, Geoff? Or
I don't. It's. I'm just giving her. I'm starving. You know that?
I'm pretty hungry too. I had some raviolis around like 5:30. They held me for a while. They were banging, man. Some banging raviolis, but now I'm starting to feel it again.
And this,
What are
I
you
don't
gonna
know.
do,
This game's
Geoff?
either being so slow or it's frustrating me, so it's making it worse. It's like sitting in math class. The clock's not moving,
Yeah,
and everything that's happening
it's true.
is making me feel bad.
It feels like it's dragged on. Replay assist came in here and ruled this a first down. By the way, the last like 2 minutes of Bengals Steelers last night were a fucking shit show with the amount of stoppages for replay. There was like replay assist on every play. It was absurd, the last 2 minutes of that game.
Did you see that? Like the idiot refs in Tampa, New Orleans today, take them forever to like set the ball, not knowing, thinking. Like his buddy got a 15-yard penalty before first and
They had
goal.
no idea if it was end goal
idiots.
or 20. Yeah, oh my God.
And don't they have an earpiece? Like, isn't that an easy fix? Like,
Yeah. It should be easy, but for some reason or another, it's not. I don't understand it.
someone asked me about gambling in Florida. I haven't set up any accounts there at the place people say to. I guess I should. But when I go to Florida, I really just have my streeters. Unless I want to like chirp someone, send someone, like buzz a buddy at home to make a bet. But you know, that'd be going against policy. So I play by the rules.
Hideki 27-1 Masters.
I don't know, man.
Too far.
Golf is. I gotta do a Sony Open show tomorrow. Oh, you see how excited I am about that.
Morning before you come in?
Yeah, it's all right. I like it. I love it. We'll see the board. The field's pretty good because the Century Field, a lot of guys are still playing. But we'll see. Last year, I bet Ben Ann, he missed a 4-footer. He lost to a dead guy, Rob.
Lions are running it and they're short. So they're going to have like 4th and 1, which I assume that they ran to go for it.
They should kick the field goal, but they would never.
I think they should go just because of the rate that they convert 4th downs at.
Yeah, it is absurd.
It's just...
He lost to a dead guy. Yeah, Grayson Murray.
Yeah.
I wasn't joking.
Yeah.
Ben
He was alive at the time, Grayson.
He was alive at the time, but
he made it seem like he actually lost this. He died after the fact, yes.
You know, okay. They're obviously going.
Yeah, they're going. I'll watch the play. I'll let you know what's going on.
You're
Big
like,
blitz, easy touchdown. Easiest touchdown ever.
Of course it is.
They've run this play. I've seen this play run before. They do this a lot. Gibbs out of the backfield, and it's a quick hitter. Smart team.
They're so good at it.
They're very good.
Rob, the Vikings are shit out of luck against the Rams, right? I should say that I'm a Viking. I'm a Darnold truther, so I'll be like the loser that would probably still back them.
Yeah.
Maybe them looking horrible on national TV. Like people finally be like, see, I told you Darnold sucks. But what's the spread? I saw the spread was like 2.5 points.
Yeah, that's likely what it'll be. They played this year on Thursday.
What was that spread? And that was a Thursday nighter, and that was the game where Darnold got face masked, and people were like upset they lost their bet, but he still did go like 90 yards in a minute and make a 2-point conversion.
I think it was like a pick that game. I want to say. I
think Vikings were like a field goal favorite.
Was it a field goal? Yeah, you might remember better than me.
Yeah, it was a good. I know you'll say there's no such thing, but like, if you had to ask me, like, that's felt like a Sharp v Square game. Not gonna lie. I know you'll tell me that doesn't exist, but it's what that felt like. And to me, it's all relative. Like, if I know 5 Sharps and they're all in the same game, and you're like, dude, there's like thousands of Sharps.
Yes.
I don't care. Like, I'm just saying, like, in my orbit, that's Sharps v Squares. When like the Sharps are on one side and the dude in my group chat who I don't want to be on is on the other side, I don't need your like 3,000 professional better sample size to determine if something is Sharp v Square. That's all. That's my rant. Oh, also, Rob, you said something this morning. I don't know if you meant it, but there's no way, like you said like 20 years ago, they weren't pricing in like the need to win on week 18. They absolutely were, I feel. Like they absolutely had to have been. There's no way they weren't. There's no way, like when Mike Mularkey and those fucking loser Bills lost to those Steelers playing all their backups week 17, there's no way the Bills needing to win that game wasn't priced in. I'm just trying to remember something relevant from week 18 that feels like 20 years ago. Might have been more than 20 years ago.
So maybe I would say like underpriced would be the revision there.
Yeah.
Maybe not priced in, but like relative to the way that it's changed. Also, there was so different betting back then relative to now.
You're right. There wasn't
so much more dynamic.
There wasn't this like info sharing like there is. Like I'm not even talking about those annoying threads, but even just like of a normal like, just like normal discourse. So but I guess I still just remember all those like teams needing to win spreads always felt inflated forever. God damn it, there's no way the Vikings are gonna score.
I just
feel like a really nice day.
It feels like watching a train wreck happening before my eyes right now.
Had a nice day because a lot of I'm no like George or anything, but had some nice props clear today. Those Patriots, Giants win totals, Raiders win totals. I'm not gonna lie, lost on the Broncos, but that's life. Ooh, lost more on that than I thought. Okay. Yeah, fuck the Broncos.
But that's life.
Such is life. It's okay. We're good. Got nice futures lined up for award season, so we're good. We're good. Did you get a bear, Geoff? Really? It's that like... It's all right. Just wear a little NFL camo. I'm no hunter, Rob. U.S. beat Finland in overtime. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Canada lost till yesterday.
I mean, I could tell you I haven't really cared about that tournament for a very long time. I'll tell you this from my perspective, and maybe Geoff is the exact same as me, but me and Geoff worked at the Score together for a long time, and we never had the rights to the World Juniors. And TSN used to air it in Canada. And basically the marketing campaigns were like, you're not a true Canadian unless you care about this tournament. And that really always rubbed me the wrong way. So I honestly just don't care. Big play. Oh, he went out of bounds. Could have had a huge play there, but it's okay.
Quarter finally feels like it's moving.
Oh, there's a flag, late flag. I didn't
on
count
what?
3. I don't know what's going to be called here. I didn't see where the flag came down.
Probably not good for us.
I feel like it's going to be defensive based off of the way they're... Yeah, one of the refs is going like this.
Defensive holding.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
I enjoyed coming home from Florida and Canada already being eliminated. But the first night I got home, all that was on the sports channels was junior hockey, women's hockey, and pro hockey. And that was...
Who decided that like the under 18 tournament was going to be the tournurnament that everybody
TSN,
cared?
Hockey Canada. It's a great day. I mean, they really manufactured...
Like under 16 and they play like an under 20. But who decided?
But they got this one over Christmas. And it had this nice mix of like already drafted players and top prospects. But yeah, I mean, it's really like an incredible achievement. Like it's truly an incredible sports television achievement. What they did with that tournament. Oh, yeah. They made it like the fabric of like Canadiana, that goddamn fucking thing. Mm-hmm. Didn't matter where that thing was. Like games could be in the middle of nowhere at 4 a.m, and they've made you feel obligated to watch it on like Boxing or Christmas Day, Rob.
Yeah.
What a great. Yeah. I mean, like it's clearly a made for TV product and they crushed it. It's the under 20s. That's what it is. It's an under 20.
No, it's like it's either under 18 or 19. I think. I don't even remember. Honestly, it's been so long since I've actually cared. Oh, that's gotta be. Come on.
It's under 20.
It's under 20? No, you're right.
What do they got to go for this?
But I don't know. Did he not get Hawkinson early there? Am I drunk? I might be drunk. Just one beer is all it takes when you're starving.
This game is just like
Yeah,
kicking
he
the
slapped
nuts.
Hawkinson's arm out of his. I mean, I don't know how that's not PI. Like, I mean, you know what you're getting when you're betting the road team at Detroit, but
No, I was actually expecting better.
now we got to sweat a 52-yarder, dude.
They're kicking it?
They're kicking.
Oh yeah.
I
No
mean, it's
fucking
very
chance.
blatant PI. Don't even. I don't in real time look like PI. On replay, looks like even more PI. 51 yards.
No chance.
He fucking missed it too by a mile.
This fucking guy. The guy who
This
can't
guy
hit the
Reichert
fucking field.
Reichert fucking cost 6
Shocker.
points tonight.
Shocker. The guy who couldn't hit a field missed the fucking upright. But he couldn't hit a field.
I also think kicking there is this is very results based analyst, by the way, now that I've seen the kick, but I actually think it's a terrible move.
That sucks.
Are you guys going to do 2 parts this week for Circle Back? Like part 1, part 2?
No,
Or no, just one?
I don't
We're gonna do
intend
one
on
part.
doing it, but it's going to be one part.
One part. What time do you think we'll be done tomorrow, Rob?
I think it'll probably be a 2-hour episode, is what I would guess.
Like, will we be done by 2:45?
I think so.
Okay.
You're lucky they didn't go to commercial break there with 23 seconds left.
I thought they might be.
Oh, man, this game is done. This game put a
I
fork
don't
in
know
the
why they
Vikings.
kicked it. I really wasn't even expecting them to kick it. Oh, they're so fragile. It's all right. Need my Vikings to bounce back next week. Monday nighter. Oi. 2 straight Vikings prime times where they just remind the world what they are. It's not going to be good.
That was a tough watch, that third quarter. That was a real tough watch.
Okay.
Turnover on downs at the 2-yard line. They get the interception, only get a field goal out of it. They give up a touchdown on 4th down, go down the field, miss a field goal, missed PI on Hawkinson on the 3rd down.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Tough.
Okay, Rob.
Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
right.
Later.
Geoff Fienberg, everyone. I got to do something. Maybe erase the board entirely at this point. It seems that I added the second skull and it made it worse.
Yeah. I was going to say take away the Cowboys thing. Just throw it.
Put on my Raptors championship ring.
Yeah.
This thing's fucking weighs so much, man. It's enormous. Give someone the thing. I don't want to do that on YouTube, actually. I got my gold tortellini right here. You seen this bad boy before?
You dipped them in gold after you cooked them? That's fucked up.
Shrunk them, made them gold. Almost fell down. What does that have to do with anything, though?
I don't know.
Should I triple down and add a third skull? But then it's not gonna match up nicely, you know?
Yeah.
I could just keep going with skulls all the way across. I don't know what to do, man. I feel like I think I have to erase all skulls because they've erased my soul watching this game.
Someone said write LOL instead of skull. Keep the OL and just write LOL.
Okay.
Well, Rob is not here. Joy Taylor drama. You should go read it up. It's fascinating read. A lot was, I don't know, I want to say revealed, but like there's a lot given out. There's like a lawsuit or something like that, and a lot was revealed. I don't know what Joy Taylor has to do with the lawsuit though. Like if she's sleeping with people who she works with, that's like I don't know why it was even included. That's the part I don't get. It's like I feel like they just included it just to make a little bit of a hubbub, but it's crazy.
All right. Fourth quarter, after the 90-minute long third quarter. You know what that means. Sunday Night Football, Austin Mock, The Athletic, joining us. Austin?
It's been I was expecting more with the 50. What it closed? 56.5? We're at
Oh, yeah.
just not great offense. Definitely the early part was a little rough.
I did not enjoy watching Darnold just rip it, like completely miss wide open receivers.
Yeah, that
Oh yeah! Oh my God! We almost had it. We almost had it. Van Ginkel, hold the ball, Van Ginkel. Oh, that was pick six. Oh, Van Ginkel.
man.
Wow. Well,
It felt like a gift there. Didn't quite get there.
At this point in the season, why do teams throw screens at Van Ginkel's side? Like he seems to be pretty good at jumping those.
Yeah. I don't know how he dropped that. Like it felt like a handoff. Oh, I feel like betting the Lions score a touchdown on this drive is.
It feels inevitable, doesn't it?
feels like it's happening.
And Ginkel was Fienberg's. I love that. The old Ace Ventura reference. Finkel is Einhorn.
Yeah, that kick by O'Connell. I saw fourth down bot from Ben Baldwin was a plus 1.7 to go. So
yeah,
that was unfortunate to watch.
Yeah, I think that they had to go at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly don't know. The offense has been lackluster tonight.
Yeah, I mean Darnold's 14 of 32. So
that's right. Yeah,
that's not what you want to see.
And Detroit's in the end zone.
Yeah.
Gibbs here, 13 yards. That should do it at this point.
It's the over live.
Honestly, yes.
So I was thinking about this.
More points?
Yeah, I was thinking about this with like just the way that either of these teams' offenses work is like if anybody gets up 2 scores late, like you could just both defenses kind of like take their foot off. Definitely Detroit's in this game script. Like now Darnold's gonna like throw probably like 55 passes or something like that, mate. Like if you get there. So
I bet Darnold over completions tonight. I should have taken the attempts. I did not expect. I expected them to throw a lot.
Yeah, I mean, 32
and have
attempts,
success. Honestly,
32. I mean, Detroit. I'll give Detroit credit. They've done a pretty good job not letting Jefferson and Addison get open. There's been some misfires, but for the most part, it's not been good. There's not a lot of easy answers for the Vikings tonight.
Best number I see, just out of curiosity, on Minnesota Live is 14-1 right now. Is the best live number that I see.
True. I feel like that's kind of interesting.
15 points. Gonna need on the next score, they'll go for a 2. Assuming that they can actually score. I can't believe KOC tried that 50-yarder, honestly.
Yeah. It again goes back to like, I feel like we talk about it every week because there's always one puzzling decision. Is like too much faith in your defense to stop a really good offense. Like no matter how good your defense is, like it's just so easy to get like for teams to move the ball on you. That's just how the NFL works in the year now 2025. So yeah, I don't love that decision. That's a tough
SNES Chalmers says, is my KOC coach of the year dead now? So we were talking about this in the Forward Progress group chat, and I was very much of the opinion that Dan Campbell is very live still because of this possible outcome. And honestly, I could see it at this point. I could see Campbell winning if this outcome stays the same.
Yeah, it's always so tough because you're trying to guess like what the voters like are they going to get too much credit for being projected to win, 11 games? And you have to understand a lot of times like the writers try to guess that they're going to win like 12 and like 13. They're not using the betting market as their like reference point, but
yeah,
it does like I don't want to say Minnesota's like lacking the big wins, so I wonder if like that weighs on people a bit, but like getting swept by the Lions doesn't help their case. And I think they have 2 wins over playoff teams, which isn't.
You're right in that like this is about predicting what voters are going to do, not what you think is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But I personally think that Dan Campbell has been the best coach in football this year. When you consider the state of the Lions defense, they have no players left. I mean, they're just losing players every single week. They just lost Terry and Arnold. They got carted off right now. Like they keep losing players. And the difference for KOC, he turned around Sam Darnold. Fine, I get that. But they've done it with a good defense as well, with a very good defensive coordinator. Now, I get that past voters have kind of, past coach of the years have been voted on based off of preseason expectations. And there's literally people who thought the Vikings could be like a lottery team this year once J.J. McCarthy got hurt. So I get that. And that very well may be a reason that he wins. But I don't know. I mean, I could easily see Campbell getting votes. Easily.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be closer to like a coin flip in the votes than people probably thought like a week or two ago. Yeah, definitely like the 15-2 thing helps a lot. Like the 14-3, obviously this game was like the decider, but like a 14-3 just doesn't sound as like good in general. Like 15-2, you're starting to get into like there's not many teams that have only lost 2 games in a season before. So like, that helps as well. So I think it'll still so obviously some voters won't be able to get past the Vikings, 6.5 preseason win total or whatever it was. I think it was either like 6.5 juiced over, 7.5 juiced away under. So people will struggle to look past that. But I agree with you. I think Dan Campbell he's the best coach in football or at least like top 3, because there's other things what do you value and what, but like you said, the fact that they've held it together with like big injury on defense after big injury on defense, like for the last month, it seems like they just keep finding a way to lose a guy. I wonder if that'll weigh in on as well, because their defense was supposed to be terrible these last few weeks. And they still won. They're going to only have 1 loss during that stand. It's a game they scored 42 points.
Looks like another Detroit injury on this play. Can't tell who that is. Defensive lineman. Anzalone got called for holding. Marcus Erickson says, Peyton, please. Sean Payton, he's just not talked about in the conversation. He's not winning it. I will be very surprised. And we saw Peyton in prime time last week with some questionable decisions. I don't think he's viewed in the same conversation here. Personally.
So I think he's like KOC light. Like if you're just erasing like anything prior, obviously, but like not any real expectations coming into the year. He is a rookie quarterback. KOC has Sam Darnold, which is like nobody expects anything good from Sam Darnold. Obviously Darnold had the better year than Bo Nix, but like both of them had elite, like good defenses. So like I just think like they're the same. Like you're making the same argument for Sean Payton as you are Kevin O'Connell, and I think the Vikings have had a better season pretty much like top to bottom in resumes. So
Vikings just can't create anything downfield in this game. Which is a little bit surprising, honestly. But
yeah, this is my we talked about it before, but like I had some discussions on Twitter this week about like what the Vikings do with Darnold, and people are like, he's gonna command $40+ million. And I was like, oh, man, I can't get on board with that. Like I can't do it.
I mean, listen, all players have bad games, but
yeah,
I just don't have the faith in him. Plain and simple. Riku says coach of the year is Steve Spagnuolo. Casey only one loss because of his defense. Honestly, I think Spags is this has been the worst defense they've had in a while. I mean, going into today, I don't think they were top 10 EPA or success rate. I could be wrong about that. Okay, 10th and 9th going into today. I don't think the Chiefs defense has been dominant this year, personally, as well.
Yeah, they've had some they're like low key, the Chiefs schedule hasn't really been that tough.
Yeah.
But like the times that they have played, like the Bucks, they gave up some points to. Obviously, the Bills scored on them. The Panthers scored on them. Although maybe the second half of the year, the Fighting Eric Eagers, that offense was kind of humming. But yeah, I don't think the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 15-2 because Patrick Mahomes gets it done when he needs to every time.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they're a top 5 time of possession team. The offense is kind of dink and dunked other teams to death this year. Defense hasn't had to play a lot. This is, I mean, it's the white flag. They kind of have to 4th and 16 on their own 34. Basically, Darnold just can't take a sack on 3rd and 9 there, which he finds a way to take the worst sacks. Anyways, I can only blame myself for my own wagers. What are you going to do? Frustrating game.
Is Detroit your team to beat in the NFC? Assuming they hold on here.
I want see, like it's really hard for me with the Lions because I mean, this has been a good defensive performance. And Darnold missed a lot of throws, but since then they've been able to get some pressure by rushing 4. There really hasn't been much for the Vikings offense, but I don't know, like I look at the personnel on defense and I just have a hard time believing that team can make a run. But now they're going to get a bye week when this result holds. Who knows who comes back after the bye? Anzalone probably is fully healthy with another couple of weeks. It's got to be Detroit. Like the Lions have to be the favorites to make the Super Bowl in the NFC. I mean, the Eagles feel like a team that could win in Detroit.
Yeah, I think like I'm not going to sit here and say like the Vikings can't beat them, but like I guess they could. But I know people like said that the NFC is the stronger conference, which I think it is just from like they have that middle tier is deeper than the AFC. But like I don't know if I'm in love with the top teams in the NFC.
No,
like I think they all, yeah. Like I mean Philly, I can get like Hurts and Barkley and that offensive line and AJ Brown, like those are a lot of that's a lot to deal with. And the defense, played better in the second half. But like, am I still going to believe in Sam Darnold? Am I like, I don't believe in the Packers. I don't think they're a real team. Like I think they're good, but like I don't know. There's just something. They haven't beaten anybody good for like 3 years, so I can't get on. I just can't get there. So it does kind of feel like Philly, Detroit collision course for the NFC Championship game.
It does. It does feel that way.
Like Commanders,
Alvaro
I don't
says,
think are there either. Hutch playing.
In 2 weeks. I would be surprised.
I think it's Super Bowl or nothing.
Yeah, and I also would highly, highly doubt his effectiveness. I don't think Hutchinson is going to play a role for the Lions this year.
Yeah,
I don't.
If he plays, it might be like I don't even know if it's worth like bringing him. Well, granted, I guess we'll see what the state of their defense is with how many injuries they've had, but like no way you can play more than like 15 to 20 snaps in the Super Bowl. Like,
yeah. I think Gibbs fumbled this on a huge run, but I'm pretty sure the Lions got it back. Yeah. Damn.
And the tough part about the Lions, I don't even know if I can't trust Jared Goff. Like, there's just they've been like humming this year, so like I feel like we think it's not possible for them to have those games, but like I don't know, maybe I'm stuck in my ways of Jared Goff, but
the Lions don't really have down games though. You know what I'm saying?
No, well, they're so well rounded.
Yeah,
like
the one game was just when Buffalo walked into Detroit and they scored on every possession. Like Allen just torched it. And maybe that's what it's going to take. It's going to take like an elite quarterback, and I'm not sure the NFC has one. Is the real problem. But then if it gets to Detroit, KC, Detroit, Buffalo, Detroit, Baltimore, like those teams are going to score at a very high percentage.
Yeah. That was like the people were saying like nobody wants to face the Bengals if they would have got in the AFC, which yes, you don't really want to face that offense, but I'm like those are 3 elite teams in the AFC. I'm like I don't know how Cincy's getting stops. So like unless Burrow is going to play, 7 touchdowns on 7 drives type of game, I don't know how that's going to happen. Yeah, the teams that beat, like I need like the teams at the bottom of the NFC. Like I don't think the Commanders are consistent enough on offense to have one of those games to like nonstop score.
No,
I'll say the Rams.
So
I think the Rams can, just because like the heater. I don't have a lot of faith in it, but like the heaters and Nakua's a problem. Like Bucks, like they have the weapons, but am I going to trust Baker to go on a heater like that? I don't know. He just kind of had one of those games against the Chargers not long ago. Do I expect another one?
I mean, the Bucks, I do remember it very clearly because I got eliminated from survivor pools early in the year, but the Bucks beat Detroit in Detroit.
Yes.
It just took the Lions never being able to score a touchdown in the red zone because that had to be one of Goff's worst games of the year. What was that week 2, week 3?
Week 2. You want me to read you some total net yards from that game? Tampa Bay had 216. Detroit had 463. 83 plays ran to 47. Yeah,
I'm just looking at the red zone numbers from that game. Lions had 7 trips to the red zone. They scored 1 touchdown. That just doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
So,
but it's the same thing. Like the Bucs defense, I don't think is anything special either. Definitely with the injuries they have in the current state. We'll see like if Winfield can come back, but it's one of those things like this Detroit offense is like, I don't want to say they've like tore up Minnesota tonight because this game has kind of been a struggle for a bit, but they're like leaning on them. This is what they do. Like second half of the game, they're pulling away. The second time they've torched this defense. So like who can stop Detroit unless it's themselves?
Yeah.
Goff just, I love the, I didn't plays. This just happened on third, but the run out of bounds for a sack by quarterbacks to not throw it away. I know he probably did that to run clock, but it always cracks me up.
Yeah.
Who's your do you have a flyer on any of these away wildcard teams to make a run? Not just win one game, but maybe win two. You like anyone?
I only took the Bucs, but it's a home team in this case. I mean, if they just drew the Vikings offside, I'm just like, it's 4th and 2. There'd be no reason for them to go for this here. Very clearly they could, and they did draw them offside as well, which is, I mean,
I like to get coach speak and like be cliche here, but this is like, I feel like Detroit has Minnesota just like mentally broken right now.
Yeah.
Like it feels like the Lions are unbeatable in this game right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the league is so top heavy this year that like I don't really like I feel like there's 5, 6 teams that I like have confidence in ish.
Yeah.
Like I'll keep the Vikings in there like as a half team. But like it's like Lions, Eagles, and then the 3 teams from the AFC. Anybody else would be pretty surprising in my mind.
With you. Are there live coach of the year markets up right now? Or are they completely off the board? I'm going to just quickly take a look if I can find anything here. I'm very much convincing myself that Dan Campbell is going to win coach of the year after this game. I think this is very
blowout.
It's going to be really tough. I think they've all been taken off the board. I wonder what they're going to reopen at. Suma bet some this week. I should have.
What was that, like 9-1?
Yeah, 10-1, I think.
Yeah, 10-1. Yeah. Yeah. The blow, like you basically were like, I don't know what the alternate markets of like minus 17.5, but like if they win by 3 touchdowns, just take Campbell to win the to win the coach of the year.
Yeah.
Man, this is an impressive game by Detroit. I didn't think their defense was capable of this.
Yeah.
Vikings have a 30% success rate on dropbacks. That is nuts. Darnold minus 0.41 EPA per play. Man.
Kyle says, how are we supposed to handicap this Vikings offense next week if Sam Darnold I mean, Darnold hasn't really played like this too often. On a game-by-game basis, he's been pretty strong. It is, though, very concerning that in the highest pressure situation of the year, guy had the worst game of the season, right? That's what becomes an issue.
Yeah, because... and like they didn't have many guys open either. Like it was kind of like twofold. Like the times that they were open, he didn't execute, and then other times it was like I'm looking downfield, there's nothing there. So a lot of concerns. But again, I think this is the problem with the like non-elite offense / quarterback is like the lows are so low. And yeah.
So here's what I'll say to B-Rad's comments. KOC is the ultimate stereotypical case for coach of the year. Case is closed. This is why I hate betting awards markets by purely looking at, okay, this is what's happened in past years. This is what's going to happen going forwards, because I very highly doubt that you have a coach of the year who played in a spot like this to win the number 1 seed against the second highest odds in the entire market and got destroyed in the final week of the season.
Yeah.
That's what hasn't happened before. So of course, I completely agree that historically speaking, the team that overperforms expectations by a ton is going to generally win the award. However, I do think that this game will change at least some votes from KOC to Dan Campbell to the point where people are really going to have to question that. Like, that is going to be a talking point tomorrow. Should Dan Campbell be coach of the year? They beat the Vikings both times that they played, and they destroyed them in the game for the number 1 seed. I forget about what you've bet on already. Like, remove that from the equation and just think about it from a pure logic perspective. I don't have any horse in this race. Yeah.
I think there's also the point of, like, I don't remember what the Lions like expected win total, like 11. I don't know if they were 11.5 or not, but somewhere around there preseason. Like, you're getting 15 wins is like pretty, like, you hit the over, like you went well over the expectation as well. In a division that, like, the Vikings were a lot better than we thought preseason. And like the Packers were probably right around expectation, but like I could see voters thinking about that. Like, hey, they went way over what we even expected was supposed to be like one of the best teams in the NFC. They still hit well above expectations, and the division was much better.
Right.
Like, I can see the, like, this is how you have to think in these markets is like, what's the narrative? Spin your own narrative. Like, can you spin that narrative? And I think it's easy to give Dan Campbell, and he's I don't want to say he's like the most popular coach, but like he attracts the spotlight more than like probably every coach in the league right now.
I mean, on top of that, like, you're going to have a Detroit team that finishes 15-2. They're not going to have any presence in the awards markets whatsoever either.
Yeah.
I do like,
I'm
like
not
MVP,
voting. Offensive player. Yeah.
Right. I do think that there's going to be people that convince themselves that, okay, a team this good with this many injuries, we got to give them something at some point. So,
and they lost their like defensive player of the year candidate because that's what Hutchinson was like on track for.
100%.
5 games, like that's all he got out of him. So
yeah,
like that was so long ago. So again, it's just like what narrative, because that's all these things are all narrative based. It's like this. It's like the Barkley MVP. Like people are just trying to pick a narrative and run with it.
Right.
I think there is a path, and definitely the fact, like you said, I think the good point is like the second favorite just destroyed the favorite in the winner take all game in a way on Sunday Night Football. Like, people will. That'll like, what do you think this reopens at?
That's
Not what
question.
you think it should, but what do you think? Like, if we assume it was 10-1, 9-1, whatever.
Yeah, what was KOC, like -350, -400? I didn't remember the exact number.
I don't remember what he was either. Yeah,
gap is definitely going to reduce. I mean, there's no doubt. Like, this is not.
I guess, like, what's the price you would need on O'Connell? Let's go that way. That's how we'll make our market, I guess. Because it's these two. Like, nobody else is a real
agreed
player.
It's a good question. I would have to think about it more.
Yeah, like I don't know. I still think he should be the favorite, but I like the recency bias. How much is that? How much can you take him down from 75-80% because of this blowout?
It's tough. Oh, sorry. -2,000. -2,000.
Okay. I mean, that's come way down. Dude, Darnold looks lost. I feel bad for him.
It's tough, man. It's been a tough watch.
I'm just watching. Like, this is garbage time, and they are struggling. Like, performances of the year when you needed it. Aaron Glenn and this Detroit defense, because they have this Vikings offense and Darnold all out of sorts.
Yep. Yep. Totally agree. Wow, what a catch by Hawkinson there. Very moot point at this point. Oh, we'll see if it's actually going to be considered. Challenge flag. Been following show for a while now. Can't recall Rob being more off on a game. Wow. I can assure you I've been way more off on games, and I will continue to be way more off on games at points in my life.
That's how it goes, you know. It just is what it is. Nothing you do about it.
Kyle Kerm says blind bet Vikings Rams under at open. I'm very interested to know what that number is going to be, because I talked about this a little bit earlier, and the Rams have forget about today's game. It was the offense looked good against Seattle, but it was all backups playing for them for the most part today, and the Rams have really started to become like this run first offense, and it hasn't worked for them over the course of the last month. I wonder, giving the offense basically a bye, if it's going to have a substantial impact on that team going forwards. But they do play really slow, and they are very conservative in their in that they'll kick field goals instead of going for it.
I hate the Rams.
Yeah.
The offense is just, there's such a wide range. It's painful.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lord McD says, I feel like perhaps you galaxy brained into this one. You haven't been a Vikings believer all season. Plain and simple, I run numbers on games, and then I play the numbers on the games. Just comes down to that. Has nothing to do with who I believe in, who I don't believe in. Very clearly, that's kind of been the recipe for success. Obviously, sucks losing a game in a blowout. It's going to happen. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm just going to keep betting. And I'm going to try to bet as much volume as possible with what I consider to be edges. And I'm pretty confident it's going to work out, because it's been working out for a long time. So that's where I'm at. And I'll bet against Detroit if it comes down to a number that I think is perceived to be valuable. And I bet Minnesota at valuable numbers in this game as well. So,
and it's not like, it's also like you've been a Vikings hater all year, but you bet them today, which is like just ironic in its own way. But like they've also won a bunch of close games this year too. So like this isn't like a super dominant team. Like obviously they've been good. I'm not saying that they're not, but like a handful of games go the other way and they're like 11-6, and we're not like, we're talking about like, hey, it's a really good year. We're not like, wow, this team's one of the best in the league. Like they're not. They're in that 5 to 7-ish, 8-ish range. Just not quite elite.
Oh man, if this is a fumble, it's just injury to insult. I'm just going through the Vikings schedule. So Vikings Packers last week, I didn't have anything. Vikings Seahawks, I bet Seahawks 3, ended up pushing that game. Vikings Bears, I bet the Vikings. That was Monday Night Football, I think. Primetime game, 30-12. Covered that. Vikings Falcons, nothing. Vikings Cardinals, leaned Vikings in that game. Didn't end up betting anything there. Vikings Bears previously, that game that they went to OT, I had Vikings in that game. Got a fucking garbage push. So, I mean, I bet the Vikings more than I faded them. Definitely. Yeah, I would say in the latter half of the year.
I think I had them San Fran week 2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That was that 99-yard bomb, if I remember.
Yeah. Since you've
But
been a pro, what's the most your model's ever been off on? Like, I can't even tell you. I've bet baseball games under that go over in the first inning. Like that is definitely happened in my life before. I've bet football games under that are over at halftime. Not quite as drastic, but this happens all the time. I honestly don't even care. And probably the worst I've ever been off, I probably didn't even notice, honestly, because it was very likely on a bet where I had a player prop over or under. Player leaves with an injury on an over. Can't be more off than that.
I mean, like, think back to that Patriots-Rams Super Bowl. That was 13-3. Like,
Yeah.
the market was off by like. I guess we're saying that in the wrong way. It's not off. Like, that's just how it worked. Like that is a part of the distribution, right? Like it's so. I think that's like the wrong way to look at it. Now, if you're betting like a certain team every single week, and they are like, okay, the Patriots. If you bet the Patriots every single week this year,
yeah,
you're probably like you're doing something wrong. Your process is wrong. That is more of like, don't think about being wrong on a single game, because like anybody can be wrong on a single game. Ohio State just beat Oregon by like they blew the doors off of them. Like,
sure, exactly, great example.
Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if they play that game 100 times, that's very much an extreme outlier.
Yeah, like that happens one time out of those 100 times, and like Oregon could beat them the next time they play. So it's not necessarily like wrong in one game. The model's wrong. It's like if you're continuing to bet the Patriots,
correct.
Or I'm trying to think of who like went way.
The Titans went 2-15 this year.
Yeah, and they didn't. They were they were terrible against the spread. So if you were betting the Titans every week, then it's like, okay, my process is off. I need to look into why that is.
Yeah,
that's more of where you're evaluating your model.
Yeah. Ada Hef says, Rob, what is your off the head fair to reopen coach of the year? So true probability, I would say KOC 75%, Dan Campbell 25%, anyone else 0%.
Yeah.
Would that be insane?
No, I think that doesn't really entice me to bet O'Connell. Maybe I want a little bit of Campbell, but like I'm not in love with it.
Right.
So I think that's pretty
you take those probabilities, fair. You add 20% hold to each.
Yeah.
I'll offer everybody else as some sort of long shot price, because I don't think that anyone else could really win. And you could probably get some people taking 100-1 flyers on guys like Sean Payton and Andy Reid, whoever else, right? At that point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's interesting. Not that like I don't think he deserves it, but like Sirianni is 14-3, and I know they're expected to be like similar to the Lions in like preseason markets, but like I feel like it just went such a weird way for them this year that like there's just nothing there. It's just like talk like back to the narrative point. Like there's no real narrative to, and maybe it goes into like they're gonna have Saquon, like who was in the MVP discussion, Offensive Player of the Year discussion. Like maybe that's part of it, but it's just crazy how like it's so narrative driven that like a 14-3 coach is like where would Sirianni be on your list? Like if you had to rank him, is he top 5?
No, but like Sirianni was getting, I mean, we talked about this on the stream when it was happening in real time. He was getting roasted for stuff that made sense that he was doing. Like earlier in the year, people were giving him shit for going those two. They were getting penalties on the field goal, that point after, excuse me, and then going for the 2 from the 1, and they wouldn't get it. And they're like, oh, Sirianni's leaving points off on the board. It's like, of course that offense is going to go for it at the 1 yard line. Like it doesn't. Right. So he was getting, I thought, criticized for I don't like results-based analysis. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I think the analysis should happen at the time of the decision. And a lot of the decisions that he made were fine. Now, I don't think Sirianni's great. Like I don't.
They had a weird stretch. I remember the Saints game where like it kind of seemed like he was picking and choosing when to go for it on 4th down. I think he got kind of like, I don't know, whatever it was. Again, everybody has their own model. And then that win was sandwiched between 2 losses. So I think and they had injuries, definitely a wideout. And I think it kind of just like compiled and like, that's just what we thought about. And they ripped off 12 out of 13.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But he's not even in the discussion. I just find that like, it's just hard to, like the coach who is going to be the favorite is going to be 14-3, and the coach who is going to be the second favorite is 15-2.
Yep.
and them and Philly and Detroit probably had the same, like, similar preseason, like, win total expectation in a way.
Yeah. This bye is going to be big for Detroit. Looks like that was Kevin Zeitler, the right guard on the sideline, who was like pretty upset. He was he's not in the game right now, and he kind of like threw his helmet,
Grabbed his hammy.
I
don't think that's good. Yeah, that seems like a dude. My best friend from high school is a Detroit Lions fan. I lived through the 0-16 season through it with him, and like we were talking, he's been so pumped. I swear to God, since we had that conversation, all the injuries just keep happening. It's like you're not allowed to have fun if you're a Detroit fan. But they're 15-2. They're finding a way to win.
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, and I'm not saying that this will happen, but hypothetically speaking, let's say the Vikings Rams reopens as a pick next week after this game.
Oh man, pick them.
I probably would bet the Vikings.
Yeah, it's painful because I'm watching this performance. But yeah, I don't
that's what I'm saying, right?
And the Rams' home field is not like anything spectacular. Yeah, if it's pick 'em, I think it's Vikings or nothing. You can't bet the Rams. The Rams are too inconsistent. Like I don't agree. Like they are I don't even know. Like they're the ultimate team. Like if they get hot and Stafford and Nakua are just like they go on a 4-game stretch, sure. Like would it surprise me if they made the Super Bowl? Like no, just because if those guys go off. But like there's too many games where they score like 17 points and it looks like they're lost. So I'm like, yeah, I can't get there. Yeah, that would be a buy low spot on the Vikings for sure. Like the Rams are not in the same class as a road game at Detroit. Not even close.
Yeah, I'm with you. Baltimore got bet out since the start of the show. I'm actually surprised by that, I'll be honest. Because of the status of Zay Flowers, I'm surprised they took early money. Some books even moved to 10 already, which I think some of that is like a little bit of teaser protection as well, in all likelihood. Chargers got bet off of 3, but it's still such a heavily juiced 2.5 that it's basically a 3. So there's a little bit of movement there. Eagles got bet up to 4.5 at FanDuel since early going. Clive kind of predicted that was going to go. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do there. I'm going to have to wait that out.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that.
And Tampa moved up to 3.5 as well, which that's the one I like the most, was Tampa Bay.
Still at 3.5 or earlier?
3.5 flat. It opened -3, -104.
No, so do you still like it at 3.5, or is that?
I don't think I could bet 3.5.
Yeah.
I mean, I might come, like when I run numbers on this game, I might get Tampa -4, but I would really be forcing at 3.5, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Tampa, they're in the same category as the Rams as me. I don't like, but I do think it's a little bit of maybe a little bit of a buy low spot early, the opener.
Yeah.
Because of their performance against the Saints. But it just depends. What Baker do you get, man? And
I think
against the Commanders' defense, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think they have the ability to get the bad one.
Well, the Bucs will be able to run the ball. Bucky Irving will have a big, like the Commanders, although they did get who did they get back? Not Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen back, which helps them in the interior. So that might shore things up a little bit. That total got bet down from 50.5 to 49.5. That directionally is the way I thought it was going to go. Chargers total got bet down 44.5 to 43.5. So that's a move through a key number. I understand why that's the case, but that's a pretty low total in indoors.
You know what's funny?
Is
the Chargers were like a dead nut under team early, like definitely with Herbert having that ankle and they had the offensive injuries. Yeah, I think they're like a sneaky over team because like that offense, like McConkey and Herbert's playing well. Like I think they could surprise you a little bit.
Yeah,
Like they're not that team that we saw earlier in the year. The offensive ceiling is definitely higher.
I agree with that. Bills' numbers stayed the same pretty much since open. I was just looking at that.
Give me that
which is
teaser, baby.
Yeah, that Bills teaser. Give me a lot of Bills teasers.
Just
Yeah.
looks real. I was really hoping that Buffalo-Baltimore teaser was gonna just sit perfectly into my account, but Baltimore's moved out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ooh, FanDuel just opened Vikings-Rams.
All right.
You want to take a guess, or you want to look at it?
Quick refresh. It can't be 3 anymore. Vikings got to be a small favorite, I would say.
Yeah.
That's what we got. Good call. 2.5 minus 115, 47.5. So this is kind of what we talked about as where the number would be. So it looks like there's not really a market impact from the game tonight.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. 47.5's an interesting. Wouldn't be shocked if that went like a little bit lower, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah.
That's
I
it.
was expecting I haven't had too many good games. I thought this was going to be the clear cut good game when I was coming on here, but no, Detroit just said no thanks. We're keeping the blowouts.
Yeah. I don't really have like a strong opinion at that number. I mean, probably directionally I'm going to end up with like a small lean towards Rams in that game after I input the results from tonight's game. That would be my guess, but I don't know for sure at this point. Tough week next week, honestly. Early market too is I can just tell you from betting over the course of the show here, this is way bigger. Playoffs are a different beast in terms of early liquidity. Markets could get down way more so far on these games. So, yeah, that's interesting. Austin, all the best, man. Thank you for joining, and take care. We'll talk this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Have a good one.
All right. Austin Mock, The Athletic. Check him out, everyone, at amock419 on Twitter. That's going to be it for me. So, this week, finalizing what we're going to do for Best Bets show, but in all likelihood, Thursday afternoon is when we're doing Best Bets, same as we did this past week. That gives us a little bit of extra time to evaluate the injury reports that come in. So look out for Best Bets here on Forward Progress on Thursday. Then, of course, Saturday night watch along. Ravens Steelers. Sunday night watch along. Bucks Commanders. Monday night watch along. Rams Vikings. Pizza buffet going to happen on Saturday this week instead of Sunday. Saturday instead of Sunday. Set your notifications for tomorrow morning. Not tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. Circle back. New episode, first one of 2025, dropping. That's over on Circles Off YouTube channel. You can listen to that in audio form as well. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. For myself, Rob Pizzola, Austin Mock, Geoff Fienberg, Clive Bixby, producer Jason Cooper behind the scenes. This has been another edition of Forward Progress Live Watch Along presented by FanDuel. Peace out, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night.